be the one bitch that had to do the quaternions to Euler angle conversions. I had to do that for the engine. I had to do that, and I hate myself.
No one wants to talk about quaternions. When Bon and Sudoku, nope, quaternions, no. Whenever I think about quaternions, I'm like, I should stop thinking about quaternions.
No, we don't talk about quaternions. We don't. Why you gotta do this math? Just make the computer do it. That's what computers are for. They do all the math that we don't want to think about.
That's the essence of programming.
Yep.
Either if someone's done it before, it's easy and you can just do it again until you run into something where you're the first person who has to do it.
Me. Also, Raiden says hi. He's right in front of the mic. He's trying to attack my rubber band, but he's chilling.
Anyway, we are indeed live during a bit of that quaternion talk, but it's fine because I'm sure everyone enjoys us going fuck quaternions.
Quaternions hurt my mind. I'm like, I'm not bitch. You how to make a quaternion stuff. The quaternions.
If something has 3 dimensions, why do we need a 4th value? It's lies.
But like, well, everything in a computer is fucking lies. In reality, we don't actually have as much memory as we think we do, because actually you have to use a hash table with
Hey.
We're not going there. We're not going too nerdy. I'm probably not even up to date. I'm probably using the wrong terms anyway.
Yeah.
Better to end it here before I shoot myself in the foot.
It's okay. But I will say, a computer's just a bunch of like sand we tricked into thinking.
Oh yeah, some numbers don't even exist in the computers in the binary structure of computers. So it don't even know all the numbers. It can't count. It dummy.
Dummy.
This is why I don't think computers will take over. This is why Roscoe's Basilisk, I'm not going to make that reference. Roscoe's Basilisk isn't going to happen because that AI's got to be really, really... AI's got to be a brain in the jar.
No, but think about what Roscoe's Basilisk is for a second, right? Where you're like, oh my god, if an evil robot would come into existence, it would punish me for not helping it come into existence. So therefore, I must make it come into existence. That's literally just what it is.
Well, I know. I'm just like, what? Just don't make it, or like, be like, oh,
I know.
Regulate AI behavior.
No, it's so easy. It's so easy. But they're like, but if it does come into existence and I didn't help make it, then it'll punish me. Therefore, I have to make it. That's the crux of the argument.
So, this is what Elon Musk believes in, and people think he's a smart snake oil salesman.
Wait, has Elon Musk ever mentioned this?
He has. That is how him and Grimes became a couple.
Oh dear God.
I was about to say Rococo's Basilisk, which is the joke that Grimes made, which actually caught Elon's attention on Twitter, and that's how they actually kind of like met each other online, and that's how they hooked up, I believe, or eventually fell in love. And so, yeah.
Anyway, enough about these asshole rich people. We can talk
Let's
talk about
asshole people.
Yeah, let's go.
I want super fancy smug witch to fuck them all up and emotionally torment them. I'm here for it. I'm here for Beatrice.
Beatrice. Yeah.
Beatrice.
Love her. Great.
I love her little shit grin. I'm ready for it.
By the way, I accidentally pressed start on an episode because I'm a genius.
You're super genius, Jaden. That's for good. Every time I say I'm a genius, I have to say super genius Jaden. I love him.
I love him too. But yeah, it's stuck in our heads now. We have the brainworms.
We do.
So do you want me to take the narration to protect your voice, or do you want to go?
Yes, I would appreciate that a lot.
No problem. We walked to the huge double doors that led to the dining room. Genji-san knocked. I have brought the children. Please pardon the intrusion. The doors were opened and we were invited inside. And it's a very normal ass dining room. The dining room, which looked exactly like you'd imagine a rich person's dining room to be.
Like a big family dining room more than a rich person's dining room.
To be fair, Rikishi probably couldn't get the photos for an actual, like, dining room in an old, like, Victorian mansion built
That is
in...
true, yeah. What year did this game come out again?
It was in 2000s, right? So...
Okay. I was thinking maybe he could look up some McMansions, but nah. Those aren't really fancy either.
Yeah, not quite the same style, right?
Yep.
The dining room, which looked exactly like you imagine a rich person's dining room to be, had a super long table that was obviously positioned with no purpose other than to make the guests conscious of their rank. Huh. Literally designed.
Right.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Our parents were already sitting in accordance with that ordering.
You're right, Brad.
I forgot. I hope you're not cutting out for the chat.
Take a seat. I just can't look at his smug face and think and take this man seriously. He just gives you the yes, I am very poggers. I am very smart indeed.
It's the eyes. They're all slightly squinty, like upwards, like this. You know.
It definitely is the eyes. All right.
The old bastard pressed us to sit. The only gaps in that group of people were the spots we were supposed to sit, which only made us feel our tardiness all the more. The seat at the head of the table, called the incipient's chair, was, for the most highly ranked, reserved for grandfather. It was still empty. He probably wanted to show up last for dramatic effect.
Or maybe health problems and he has a really hard time getting out of his bed. I don't know. Don't be an ass. I'm joking. His grandpa's more of an ass.
Do we know yet, though? All we know is he did the big child abuse.
All we know is he's an alcoholic, and yeah, he did the child abuser. He has a very unhealthy simp for Beatrice.
Yeah.
I do have some concern about that.
I wonder if we'll learn any more about the unique ways that he is awful.
Oh, I'm ready for everyone to be awful. I'm ready for everyone to be awful.
So the left-hand side of the first row, closest to the incipient's chair, was where Uncle Krause should have sat since he was the second highest in rank. It looked like he hadn't arrived yet, so that seat was empty. Across from his chair on the right side of the first row sat the eldest daughter of the family, Aunt Ava, who was the third highest in rank. The left-hand side of the second row was for the fourth highest in rank. There sat my damn dad, Rudolph, the third of the siblings. Across from him on the right side of the second row was Aunt Rosa, the youngest sibling. At this point, you might expect their husbands and wives to come next. But nope, left-hand seat in the third row. Rank number 6 belonged to Jessica. Opposite her was George Anarchy. I sat next to Jessica, and Maria sat across from me. Then finally next to me, on the left-hand side of the fifth row, sat Aunt Natsu, the 10th highest in rank. Opposite her was Uncle Hideyoshi. In the 6th row and final seat on the left-hand side, sat Kirie-san. The seat opposite to Kirie-san was empty, even though the silverware had been set there and everything. According to this ranking system, that spot was where Aunt Rosa's husband should be sitting. Even though he wasn't supposed to be coming, his place was made up. That's awful.
Yes, we're gonna put all of the outside family members as the lowest people, and that's how much we look down on them.
Oh yeah. And then there's the stuff specifically for Rosa, where it's...
Look at your absent husband.
Know your shame.
So shitty. Fuck this family. Probably gonna say this several times.
Normally
I'm
rank
gonna probably the part where Beatrice maybe starts killing people like, yes, Queen, slay! I'm
slay.
probably gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. Yep. It's totally gonna happen.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm surprised no one has shown up in chat yet. Let's keep going.
Hey, this is for you and me. This is for the
Yeah,
entertainment of experiencing Umineko.
it's a good one. Normally ranked
It's a good
systems
one.
of this sort give spouses equal position as their partners. But the Oshiromiya family system was unique. Oh, hello Jamie.
Hello!
Maybe it's a remnant of male chauvinism. A remnant, as if it doesn't still exist.
As if the patriarchy is just over.
It's the end of history. Capitalism has won and communism has been defeated. We are moving to a bright future. There's no stop for progress. There's nothing new in the future.
Yeah, we stopped racism and we stopped sexism. We stopped all the bigotry. Go home, everyone.
Good
We
job.
did it.
We did it. We saved the
We
city.
beat the Soviets.
If you start with the assumption that a woman's womb is just something to be borrowed, then the children of direct descent would come first, directly followed by the grandchildren. Hello, Jamie. We're alright. Well, I am at the very least. Though we did talk about quaternions earlier.
We did talk about quaternions and how much that hurts my little brain.
Human brains were not meant to understand quaternions.
There's some eldritch monstrosity.
That's why we convinced sand into thinking. In other words, spouses have no blood ties and are therefore placed at the end of the line. Okay, a quick run of fucking quaternions. Anyway, so for your computer to efficiently display 3D objects and other stuff and render and blah, just having values for your location in the X, Y, and Z or rotations is not enough. You need a fourth value for the rotations called quaternions, right? And yeah, they're used in that stuff. And whenever you have to do any calculations or set stuff up to work for them in terms of graphics, that's annoying as hell. That's why you just use a
on
library.
top of 3D World, you also have to deal with the computer screen that has to kind of
Project it, yeah.
Project it, and so you have to do with I already forgot the fucking terminology for everything, but it's hard. It's a lot of math and it hurts my little brain, and there's a reason why people don't really make their own like graphics by hand and they usually just, like you said, use a library.
Okay, that fixed it. I don't know why there was a second bigger like capture there, because I realized the chat was covered. Oh yeah, when Banana Rotatus happens, like, it's magic. Beatrice is doing it.
Yeah. There was a running joke. One of the hackathons, I made a dialogue system for my hackathon.
Oh, yeah.
And I made the math wizard, and the math wizard's like, "Alrighty, let me tell you. Did you know that we're 2D objects, but we're in a 3D world thanks to the 3D rotation called billboarding, and through the use of these." And he's like, "Let me tell you about these quaternions, sister." And then there was a choice that's like, "Listen, take 100 psychic damage and die," is the one choice, and the other option is, "Please shut up." Those were the two options.
No,
and you literally died.
You need like an interrupt prompt, like it's a Sewer's Wrath, where you can shut up everyone's monologue.
I couldn't get that far into the.
No, I understand, but like,
yeah.
I've always found that a really fun option of where someone's ranting with something, you're like, this is bullshit. Stop.
Shut up.
Yeah, straight
I
up.
want to punch you, and I punched you. Yeah, everything about computer science and magic, black magic, and hurts my brain.
Someone smarter than us already did a lot of it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but by the system, my grandmother would be ranked even lower than me if she were still alive. And
he's like, "Oh no, it's okay, because my grandma, Wild Dearly, would be lower than this, so it doesn't actually matter."
I mean, he did say it's terrible.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's terrible.
In their youth, they obey their father. After they get married, their husband, and after aging, their children. There's the old saying, women have no home in any realm. That's a sad-ass saying.
That's a sad saying. Well, I wonder what a witch is called. I wonder why women get called witches.
Long ago, when I was still incapable of figuring all this out, I thought it was so great that we could all chat in our little groups, adult siblings with adult siblings, cousins with cousins. However, now that I can re-examine the seating order after growing up a bit, it stirs up some very complicated feelings in me. Aunt Natsui, who was married to the eldest son and was the de facto number 2 in managing this family, sat to my right, which meant that she was 2 steps lower than me in the ranking order. It was hard to imagine what might be going on in her heart. That's why I made a small apologetic gesture to her before sitting down. How nice to see you,
Nice.
Bethlehem. Oh, yeah,
I did
you
her
did
voice.
it, yeah.
Yeah. How nice to see you, Bethlehem. You've grown quite tall, haven't you? Oh, yep. 6 long years of eating well, sampling various cuisine, and driving sustenance from Mother Earth's bountiful gifts. Hard work, but I pulled through.
Oh, by the way, I'm just asking, okay, Jupiter's audio is indeed glitching out.
Okay. Just like a boy, I see. How tall are you? I guess about 180 centimeters.
Is it the Discord EQ still?
Hmm?
Is it the Discord EQ that's causing it still, you think?
What do you think? Am I too loud or?
Yeah, just talk normally for a bit. We'll see if everyone can just hear it.
Okay.
Talk about whatever. Just I think your voice is coming out fine right now.
My voice is coming out fine. Was I just coming in like really loud recently? Because I am kind of, my 90s voice does make me get a little bit louder.
That might be it. Rowan. Okay, this is not even the first time this is brought up in the chat.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Tisk tisk, everyone. Tisk tisk.
Oh no. Yeah, like I'm hearing you fine when you're talking normally, so it might be.
But it's glitching out.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Ka says.
That was fine.
Doing all of this regular stuff. I do have to kind of talk in front of it, so maybe I can turn off. Let's see. I'm looking at the settings for Discord, and if the input's not being put up, like if it doesn't recognize it, it's not gonna silence it out or anything. I think this is probably better if I got rid of that.
Alright,
It's starting to robot out again?
well.
Here, let me just exit and enter. Hello, people.
Okay, huh. Okay, is it working? Jupiter, just give a monologue. Read the B movie script. Let's just give it one more try.
Fucking let me pull up that B movie script. This is gonna be the test now for if my audio is good. Is the B movie script? That's gonna be my tradition.
Oh no.
Alrighty, let's see. Okay, which voice should I do it? Battler or
Oh no, you're still roboting
Angie
according
voice.
to Jamie. Ah.
Like, it's fine to you, right?
Yeah, there's a bit of a little weird hiccup there, but you're sounding fine to me now.
Okay, because I don't know if it's here. Let me change internet. Maybe it's my internet. Here, let me see if it's on the right audio. Okay, right one. Okay, yeah, it's using the right one.
You sound fine to me now. Jamie, is this just on your end now? Rowan, does Jupiter sound fine?
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. It sounds fine now. Maybe I just had to like exit the Discord call and maybe just visit again.
All right. So yeah, let's keep going then.
Growing like a boy, I see. How tall are you now? I guess about 180 centimeters, but Aunt Natsui, there... That's where you're supposed to say, heck. Sounds like all you did was eat. Huh? Oh, I am sorry.
After a short pause, she did laugh with me, but seemed she couldn't quite figure out what she was supposed to be laughing at.
She's like, I like to make fun of people's eating habits. You can eat as much as you want. You look healthy, my boy. I'm not gonna fat shame you.
This woman
is
is
what I'm thinking. Natsu's thinking.
Aunt Natsu. She's the wife of the
Yeah,
eldest son of the family, meaning she's my father's older brother's wife. Is it simpler if I just call her Jessica's mother? Actually, this is 1986. These kids are not Zoomers.
Okay, they're in 1986?
Yeah.
Wait, this is the time period of this.
1986 is the time period that we are currently in.
So they're Gen X.
Uh-huh.
God. 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 So the 90s voice is kind of works for this character, honestly.
Only a couple years off.
Yeah. God damn it. Feels bad to say it like this, but while I don't exactly dislike her,
you cut out
I'm
again.
Curse says.
I don't know what's up.
What's up? What is wrong with this? Maybe it's like, because I might be going a little bit too loud. Here, let me just.
No, you sound perfectly fine now. I think you might just be. Well, I don't know what's up with your mic, and as soon as you go loud enough, it borks. Is it Discord?
It might just be. Am I too quiet right now? Because I'm just trying to like set it up so that when I yell it out and sound a little bit more yelly, I'm not.
Yeah. How does Jupiter sound when Jupiter's just talking normally? Is it loud enough, or does Jupiter need to be pushed up?
Because I'm interface right now. So Battler would be more likely to be grinding rails on a skateboard than lip syncing on a
Oh, is this a connection issue somehow?
Do you think? That might be a connection. I think it is a connection issue. I am starting to see my connection going wonky. That might be it. It might be a bandwidth thing.
Okay.
Like your audio is too powerful. You can't carry it all. It's too plus ultra powerful. Here, let me move to my different, more powerful one. I'll be out for a bit.
Okay, I am holding down the fort. Oh, Jupiter's back.
Hello, this is the 5G one, so hopefully this is actually the better one.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, I just realized it wasn't on the 5G one, and that's maybe why it started chugging a bit.
It feels bad to say it like this, but while I didn't exactly dislike her, I didn't particularly like her either. She hardly ever spoke with us kids, and all my memories of her involve her talking to the adults about complicated things with a scary look on her face. In fact, since we hardly ever exchanged words, I spent a long time trying to figure out how I should approach her. Though my efforts seem to have ended in failure. The silverware sat neatly on the table, but the meal itself hadn't been brought in. Also, by the way, Jupiter, if you ever want to stop and just talk about things, totally feel free to do that.
Heck yeah.
As a general rule, you couldn't start a meal until the person sitting at the head of the table arrived. So as long as grandfather didn't come, lunch would be put on hold indefinitely. Not even the appetizers would arrive. Simply put, the silence in this room was caused by our parents enduring their hunger while they waited for grandfather to arrive. However, the grandfather, from my memories, would always show up on time to meals like this. He was the kind of person who would never be so late that it kept everyone waiting, especially after the entire group had arrived.
Oh god.
Grandfather's pretty late. As far as I can remember, he was always strict about time.
So,
Well, that might have been true 6 years ago. But it hasn't been that way lately. In fact, he's off in his own little world so often he doesn't even show up at family meals. Still, I figured he'd at least come down today. Then again, I feel more relaxed and happy without him.
yeah, I'm happy that your abuser's not around you.
Jessica!
When her mother scolded her, Jessica stuck her tongue out and looked away.
Hell yeah, Jessica, MVP. I hope nothing bad happens to her, but probably will.
No way around it. Might as well wait until our host arrives. What? Wait, this Jessica face is cursed?
That's a great Jessica
That's a
face.
great
Everyone's
face!
I would make that my profile pic, if I could.
It's like
The
she
little
stole
shit
Valor's
face.
face.
Oh my god, I'm looking at the mom's hand and I'm just like, it's pretty, or the mom's arms are pretty funny. It looks like her sleeve looks like it's like her, like it's supposed to be her hand, like one of those like simple stylizations where it's like an arm and then like a circle and that's just supposed to be a hand. It gives me that
yeah.
vibes.
When I glanced at the clock, I saw that it was almost 12:20.
12:20 lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ushiromiya Kenzo, the aged family head of the Ushiromiya head family. This man could be seen in the study. The clock had already passed noon, but he didn't even attempt to rise from his seat. With the spectacles on, he built up on a growing pile of books with elaborate bindings, which he then read intently.
All of them were the same copy of Atlas Shrugged, but with different notes. He's the kind of guy who writes Atlas Shrugged, who writes notes in his Atlas Shrugged copies. I'm calling it. I'm not wrong.
You couldn't really say that he was having too much fun to stop. Rather, he filled the room with a sense of impatience, or perhaps a sense of impending danger, as though every second wasted was a tragedy. In this sealed room, a dense dust danced through the air, which was thick with the stench of chemicals that exuded a mix of suspicious odors. Those odors were somehow sweet and heavy.
Man, dude, that's asbestos.
If anyone with a normal nose came in here, the first thing they would do was open a window and ventilate this room. Natsu is born with a rare genetic condition, Neko arc arms. Burinya.
I love her.
The knocking against the study door had been going on for a while. A voice calling father sometimes mingled with the knocks. As Kinzo heaved a deep sigh, he snapped shut the old book in his hand and slammed it on the table. Then he yelled at Kraus, who was still knocking on the door. A voice calling father oh, okay. Yeah,
Well,
I
Dad, are you done talking to your imaginary girlfriend?
Silence! I am a tier 3 subscriber.
Oh no!
Enough with that racket, you fool! Who told you the door would be open if you but knocked? I'll crucify the imbecile. Do you wish to suffer the same fate?
Father, this is the day of the family conference, which happens only once a year, is it not? Everyone's gathered down below. Please, come out.
Kraus called out to his father through the doors, asking him to stop offering yubis to Korone.
Oh my god!
Kinzo always shut himself up in the study, hating it when nearly anyone, even his family, entered the room. For that reason, Kraus had no choice but to call him on the corridor like this. Molest me not! Just who is this everyone which you speak? Do you mean the fools trying to drag me out of here? Then kill them all! Tear them apart, use their bodies for firewood, feed them into the witch's hearth. Put a pot in that hearth to boil the wormwood. Force the imbeciles who dare try to lure me out here to drink the broth of the apocalypse. That's pretty intense. I will soak their dregs in liquor.
Dude, it's just a dinner. We're having spaghetti. Just fucking calm down.
Ah, where's Genji? Call for Genji. Have my demonic absinthe prepared. The whispering of the green fairy reaches me no longer.
He's like, give me my essential oils. I do not bother with that trash. I must cleanse my body for the earth.
Ah, where's Genji? Bring him here.
Bring my boyfriend.
On the other side of the door, Kraus, Nanjo, and Genji kept waiting for the master house, who stubbornly refused to come out. Can you still hear the whispers of the green fairy?
Looks like he hates me to the core. My voice doesn't reach him anymore.
Kraus shrugged as though saying, it's no use, and smiled bitterly. From the beginning, he hadn't really expected his father to respond to his calls. However, since it was the duty of the eldest son, he had tried as a formality.
Enzo-san! Your sons, daughters, and grandchildren have come to see you, have they not? Could you just let them see your face, if only for a short while?
Shut up! Be silent! You dare admonish me, Nanjo? I never told anyone to get you, I told them to get Genji! Now call for him immediately. Time is short, the apostles are readying their trumpets, so why can't you foolish sheep understand?
My god, he is an Atlas fan.
Kinzo slammed an old, heavy book against the table over and over. The racket clearly expressed his great displeasure. Kinzo put his spectacles down and flew up from his chair. He spread his arms wide open as if to sing to a packed opera house, as if appealing to someone, and yelled, Why? Why is there always something in my way? I would throw it all away, I would offer everything, and there's only one thing I ask in repayment. Oh, Beatrice, if I could see your smile but one more time, I would plunder the smiles of the earth and offer them all up to you. Oh, commanders of the legions of locusts, reap the smiles of the earth.
There he is again with his imaginary girlfriend.
Ah, everything is filthy, everything is irksome. Why must I suffer this impediment of the most precious of days? Call for Genji.
I have no idea why he's yelling about. He's probably lost his mind by now. Son! Isn't it a bit harsh to say such a thing to your own father? My father's already dead. There's nothing here but a phantom of what father once was. At any rate, as long as he has no intention of coming out, there's nothing we can do. Kenzo-san.
Choking coughs continued to pour from the study.
I'm going back downstairs. It would be a waste to let the fruits of Goda's prize cookie talent get any colder. It's one of the few things our relatives can look forward to when they come to this house. You know what? Good for him. He's like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm eating food.
Kraus spun around. He looked at his watch, mumbling and acting as though he'd wasted time doing something he knew would be in vain.
Genji-san, father is calling for you. Keep him company.
Certainly.
Dr. Nanjo, let's go eat. If we stay here any longer, this sweet stench will ruin our sense of taste. It's asbestos that does that to you.
Without waiting for Nanjo, Kraus went downstairs. Genji urged Nanjo to go and eat. Nanjo glanced between the study door and Kraus's back as the latter disappeared down the stairs, then let out a deep sigh.
Sorry, Genji-san, but please allow me to leave this in your hands.
Yes. Please leave it to me.
Oh, so they're the real boyfriends. I'm joking.
So my sweet love, Genji.
Do you not remember the line from last time? I remember hearing that Genji was closer to grandfather even than grandmother was, or something along those lines.
Yep.
Do what you can to avoid giving him alcohol. That's a habit that's far too difficult to break.
That's a habit that's far too difficult to break. Is Genji not here yet? Who dares to keep Genji from coming? Ah, where's Genji? Call for Genji. Please, allow me to handle this situation here.
Very well. Forgive me.
Nanjo bowed slightly and descended onto the stairs. Genji watched him leave, then knocked on the study door. Master, it is Genji. Genji! Oh, why have you kept me waiting so long? Yo! Hello, 80% relatable. We have sea cats!
Hello.
Welcome. Is it SK or Vivian, or both? You're alone, I trust. Correct. I am alone. Kinzo returned to his seat in the study and pressed an old-fashioned switch on the table. Hello! After a small delay, the heavy sounds of the door unlocking could be heard. Kinzo was convinced that his family wanted to make a mess of his study. Or perhaps someone had once opened the window for some air and ended up scattering things that to him were important research materials, leaving him in a terrible mood.
This is all his research materials or him trying to make the perfect persona?
What would his persona be?
Anatomy.
Oh, I think he's a basic bitch, and he's actually a wolf. He's absolutely like a wolf, like he's like wolves are, and I think like because wolves are sacred in Japan, he'd probably go for like something like that. Or since he's such a big West boo, maybe he'd go for like a dragon. This is like Ransona.
His Kinzo's dragon Ransona.
Yeah! This is why child labor is actually okay. And then Sparkle Wolf is one.
This is why America was right to nuke Japan.
Oh no! Oh god.
Oh
yeah.
no.
God.
Kinzo had outfitted his room with a formidable lock, preventing anyone from entering without his permission, and thereby sealing himself in a jail of his own making. Genji, whom he trusted the most, was relatively free to enter the room, but even that didn't always hold. If Kinzo was in a bad mood, even Genji wouldn't be able to enter. Anyone else would be limited to holding a conversation through the door, unable even to see Kinzo's face. And most of the time, what they got could hardly be called a conversation.
So yeah, he does just want to Ransona.
However, this didn't trouble the rest of the family much. After all, it wasn't worth the effort to disturb this aging family head, who was impossible to please and always stayed shut away, immersed in his research. What do you think he's researching?
He's researching the elixir of life. He wants immortal life to be immortal with Beatrici.
Beatrici. They supported his isolation, putting his care entirely into the hands of the servants. Genji, my usual. I'm busy. Yes, sir. Genji headed to the corner of his study. There, suspicious-looking bottles boasting venomous colors were on display. They were actually liquor, but considering the shady atmosphere of this room, one might easily suspect them of being some ghastly poison. Inside the study, the mysterious collection of books gathered by Kinzo had grown into a mountain. They were bizarre, ancient, or banned books, all of them either forbidden, cursed, or sealed.
Yeah, this guy seems like a cult show. I think he's doing like the elixir of life, or like trying to summon a demon. Maybe do some like Faust shit. You know, that's what I'm thinking he's trying to do.
But if you try to call them old books, Kinzo would fly into rage and say, "Call them grimoires."
Oh my god.
They're not comics. They're visual novels. They're not visual
Graphic
novels. They're graphic novels.
You don't get it, Mom. They're art.
Robert Arthur says he's researching cryptocurrency and cryogenic preservation. I could also buy that too.
I need to live long enough to see my apes go to the moon.
No, Reina. His baddest mood is when someone stole his ape. He's all Genja. Wait, what is his name? Genjo?
Genji.
Or... Genji, they right-clicked my ape. They stole my apes. And now they're replying in the comments they stole my apes.
There were also many mysterious objects that presumably held some meaning with regards to black magic, like candles suspiciously melted and molded into strange shapes. The constellation drawn on a certain celestial globe contained quite a few shapes that would draw puzzled looks from anyone familiar with today's night sky. The carelessly strewn about books contained many illustrations, all of them of a religious or mysterious nature, including some depicting demonically grotesque subjects, or bizarre diagrams of various magic circles. And above all, a sweet poisonous smell filled the room, profoundly assaulting the eyes and nose of those who enter for the first time. Eventually, it must surely make a person go numb and lose their grip on reality.
So he's getting high as fuck.
I guess that could be the smell of the cryogenic preservation.
I was thinking he was just... Oh, I was thinking he was, like, smoking... It was opium.
Oh, yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Inside the study, Genji prepared Kinzo's usual drink with a well-trained hand, but I don't think it smells like that.
Yeah, I don't... No, I do know that there's, like, flavored color. There are, like, you can flavor opium and vape. Oh, he vapes. Scented vapes. Vape fumes.
No one would even think of drinking such an ominous dark green liquid in that complex and ornate glass, unless someone first told them it was alcohol. He poured a little into the glass. Then he placed a cube of sugar in a strangely shaped spoon and poured water from a pitcher over it. Strangely, when the transparent water was poured, the dark green liquid turned a cloudy white. It was a strange optical illusion, as though the water had caused a chemical reaction and made the drink become even more unrecognizable as liquor. Then Genji added original flavors Kinzo loved, fine-tuning its taste. There was no recipe. Its success was measured only by Kinzo's mood swings when he drank it, and it had taken Genji many decades to learn how to do right.
Absinthe indeed, absinthe indeed, and also, as they said, let Kinzo vape.
Genji placed the glass on a tray and walked over to Kinzo. By this time, Kinzo was gazing out the window. Here, master. Thank you. Kinzo had regained his composure and was now unrecognizable as the shouting, screaming, yelling man from a few moments ago.
He just wanted his choco milk. I want my choco milk!
Looking at this man from behind as he tilted his glass and gazed down at the scenery beyond the window, he projected a sense of dignity and intelligence. To allow Kinzo to set his glass down at any time, Genji motionlessly waited behind Kinzo and to his left as though he were a living sideboard. Then, without averting his eyes from the window, Kinzo held out his glass. There was only a mouthful remaining. It was not a gesture intended to set it upon the tray, but a motion to hand the glass over to Genji. Drink, my friend.
That's some gay shit right there.
Your words are too kind. Why couldn't Kinzo just make the drink himself, huh? He could just be a rich asshole.
He could be. Yeah.
No
He
need for
really
ceremony between us.
What if it wasn't absinthe at all and it was just a bunch of fruit Kool-Aid mixed together? So yes, it is absinthe. Here you go.
Drink.
It's just 6 packets of
My,
Kool-Aid mixed together.
my friend. Thank you. Genji respectfully received the glass and inclined it a little to taste its contents. After that, he gulped it down. I attempted to imitate your concoction, but no matter how I try, I cannot replicate the taste. The way you make it is pure relish. Thank you very much. It is the fruit of your guidance, master. Kinzo smiled at his loyal subject, who refused to put aside rank even when asked to. However, he was not making fun of him. His smile was relaxed, as though chuckling at a close friend's old, unshakable habit. We have grown old together. I stopped counting the years long ago. It is entirely thanks to you, Master, that I've been able to live like this until today. Kinzo gave a faint smile as to say he didn't need any flattery. Until now, you have served me exceedingly well. My sons call me eccentric. The servants that were here once many have all quit in fear. Only you serve me even now. Your words are more than I deserve. My life will not last much longer. My sons are vultures lazily waiting for my inheritance to fall into their hands. Krauss is a fool who squanders money like water, who throws away 2 gold coins to attain 1. And then he has the gall to claim that he's earned money. Ava is a slave to money who thinks of me as a mere chicken. When I die, she plans to use my bones to make a broth. That dunce Rudolph just wants to fool around with women. Rosa boarded the baby of a man who came from nowhere and about whom we know nothing. Jessica's incompetent and uneducated. George has none of what it takes to be a man. Bather's a fool who threw away the honor of the Oshiromiya family. And Maria is obscene to the eyes.
He's literally 9 years old. Bruh. It's a 9-year-old.
Obscene to the eyes.
My fucking god, this guy is insufferable.
Why is the Oshiromiya blood so incompetent? There's no one worthy to inherit the glory I built. Ah, of course I know this is part of Beatrice's curse. I know it. Ah, you Golden Witch, are you trying to take revenge against me in this way? If you want to hate me, then do so. If you want to run away, then run. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. You belong to me. You must always be in my arms for all my life. You must stay in my birdcage for all eternity, whispering only to me.
Okay, gross. What can I say but yikes?
Beatrice.
Please step on me.
Why won't you smile back at me? Oh! Ah! Beatrice! Ah! Ah! After howling, Kinzo choked once again. Genji set the tray and glass down and rubbed his master's back. Genji's facial expressions did not change. It was always like this. Thank you, my friend. When his seemingly deranged fit subsided, Kinzo regained his composure once more. It was like seeing 2 different people, a wild Kinzo and a composed Kinzo, living together inside one body. And so, I have decided I cannot bear to spend my dimmed remaining years procrastinating like this. If I have one final coin to bet, then I choose to abandon it to the whim of the demon's roulette. The power of magic is always determined by the risk of the gamble, like visiting a shrine at the hour of the ox in ancient Japanese sorcery, to nail a cursed doll to a tree. Magical powers produced specifically because of the risk that was seen within the 7 days the curse takes. The greater the risk, the stronger the magic power will be. Many miracles that happen in myth might be called the crystallization of shocking magic power, with a low probability of occurrence and astronomical risk. That Moses parted the water sea was not a miracle of God. The risk of that desperate situation, cornered by the soldiers on the Red Sea shore, weighed upon the scales of slaughter and gave birth to that miraculous magic power. If the same thing occurred again on the same scale, the sea would surely fail to part. After all, Moses was able to magnificently summon a miracle engraved on but one of the countless innumerable results of the ruled on those of with power. This is the force that can triumph over astronomical odds. Indeed, good fortune that can grasp miracles as magical power itself. To obtain this mighty power, one must face the risk of despair. Those who possess no magical power may call that desperation rather than a bet. However, people who truly do possess magical power can grasp hold of that miracle and make the enigma come into being. And if that power exists within me, I'll seize that miracle. I'll have the chance of making that wish I devoted my life towards come true. Kinzo looked up to the sky outside the window. He spread his arms as if appealing to someone in the skies. So all that talk about miracles, does that remind you of anything?
Yeah, no, totally reminds me of something.
Would you?
Well, it reminds me of a couple of VNs.
Would you like to talk to about them, or would you like to save that for later?
Save it for later. Let's put a pin on that.
All right. I knew you would be like, there's a lot of mentions of miracles. If only I were capable of grasping that miracle. Oh, Beatrice, Beatrice, show me your lovely smile once more. No matter how much time passes, your face does not vanish. I just want to see your smile, that is all. I'll return everything you granted me. I'll return all the glory of grain since that day. I don't need fortune, prestige, or gold. I'll return everything you gave to me. I just want to see your smile. Hey, Rowan. Oh, actually, we don't know the characters well enough, but I would have asked you who each character would summon if they didn't use a relic. As Catalyst, I want to see your smile. I beg you, Beatrice. Oh. His nonsensical yells became a scream and then a wail. Kenzo slumped to the floor, tearing at it with both hands. Genji had no choice but to wordlessly watch over his master's lamentations.
Like, all of these family members are vultures! Chill. Take a chill pill. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the family head's health is not at its best. He seemed extremely sad not to be able to share lunch with you all now that you have gathered for this event that occurs but once a year. Goda, let the lunch begin!
Certainly, I shall begin today's luncheon. Dr. Nanjo, is father's condition really that bad? Couldn't you have at least let us see his face?
It's more a problem of mood than a physical condition. And for that, there is no medicine I can prescribe.
Hey, are we talking about his mood again? You've got to be kidding me. We took time out of our schedules during this damn busy autumn season just to come and find out how he's doing. And now he's...
Then you should be happy, Rudolph. You know... Hell, you now know how he's doing. Or what? Would you rather take my place and try to persuade our ill-humored father to come join us?
Are you kidding?
Rudolph shrugged.
Yep.
Apparently, though Rudolph was willing to be indignant at how self-centered his father was, he wasn't particularly disappointed to be spared a face-to-face meeting. Does it seem like his mood will improve before dinner, Kraus-Nissan?
I have no idea. If you want to know that, you should ask him directly. Although I think his mood will improve faster if we don't bother him.
Genji-san is the only one who can get grandfather out of a funk. It's pretty pathetic, though, making servants deal with your own parents' bad mood.
Jessica?
Hello,
Don't
Mushroom!
speak out of turn.
Hello?
Thank you for joining us. No problem being late. I hope you enjoy this.
All we know is the great-grandfather's an asshole, rich asshole. I mean, what else is new?
From what we know, everyone's an asshole. Also, there's some
Yeah.
talk about miracles.
Yeah, a lot of miracle talk. Totally doesn't remind me of it. Totally doesn't. Did Higurashi came before this one, or did Umineko
Yes,
come?
it was all done questions and answer arcs before this was written.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no wonder I was immediately. Okay. Good. I was thinking of the right game then. That reminded me of it. So, I heard this before.
Jessica, don't speak out of turn!
She had planned for her complaint to be heard only by her cousins, but it reached even Krause's ears. Scolded, Jessica scowled and turned away, sulking. Fucking not fair.
Is this Battler?
Yep.
It's hard to tell because, like, his mouth isn't open.
If he's as cranky as they make him sound, he can't be that terribly sick, right? I mean, they're saying he's in a bad mood, not that he's got no energy, which proves he's got his wits about him.
It's because a grandfather has especially strong willpower. However, that doesn't necessarily mean his body will be able to keep up. Since last year, they keep saying that he has 3 months to live. If the initial diagnosis was correct, grandfather would have prolonged his life by willpower alone. It's right for us to worry about him. Lunch started with the family head seat still empty. The man who should be sitting there had already grown old, and the brilliant glory which had rebuilt the Yoshiromi family in the span of a single lifetime was being forgotten. Even though they were beginning the meal with that seat still empty, no one felt that it was odd anymore.
Oh.
We were really close to the break point, I just didn't remember. Well,
It's glad to start the next chapter.
the Yoshiromi family conference was held once every year on the first weekend of October. If a normal family were to hold a so-called family conference, you'd expect to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other around buckets of sushi or something. However, part of the family's great fortune had been lent out to grandfather's children, and no one in this family was considered an adult until they had met with success in business. So this meeting literally was a conference. How much of the fortune was invested, what sort of business was conducted, how much profit was earned. As a result, how much of the fortune borrowed from the main family could be repaid. Or possibly how much more would be borrowed for future business ventures. What lessons had they learned? What they can learn from their mistakes. It seemed like topics like these were discussed very seriously in the past. My dad said that was like lying on a bed of nails. Apparently it used to be a very serious family meeting where people were bathed in scornful and angry voices, and some people even got slapped despite their age. However, that had become a thing of the past. Now with everyone pursuing their own business ventures and achieving success, it was becoming more of a normal yearly get-together. Even so,
Wait. I'm already getting very wary about how past reunions went. Oof.
So telling grandfather about recent events was extremely stressful. So while it was nothing more than a simple get-together for us grandchildren, it was still a real stomachache for our parents. The absence of the man who was the source of all this trouble, regardless of the reason, probably made today's lunch taste much more delicious. The phrase, while the demon is not around, everyone can relax, comes to mind. Anyway, let's introduce Jessica's father, whose face I haven't seen for 6 years.
Wait, what does his pachinko sprite look? I want to see it. Oh. He looks old. It's not too bad. He looks like a player 2 Giovanni from Pokemon.
Player 2 Giovanni.
Yeah. Or it says something tells me that the get-togethers never got normal at all. I know, right?
Huh. Who would have thought? Dude looks like a G-tier boss fight in Yakuza.
Oh my god.
Head of the Ushiromiya clan.
Oh my god.
Just you wait, bro, and you think he sucks, but then he starts pulling out the fisticuffs, and then you beat his ass, and then he comes riding in the sewer with a pipe, and then starts doing fisticuffs in the sewer. He's a 3-star summon in the 07 gacha.
My God.
Is he actually though? Because there is a when they cry gacha.
Oh my God, there is?
Yeah. You
Why?
recently they released Keiichi, Mion, and Reina in wedding outfits together.
Okay, they brought in the good characters. Sweet. Okay, I'm not mad about that.
This name sure is easy to read. Kraus. Now that we've gotten used to this string of weird names, our perspective is totally skewed. See, Kraus doesn't actually seem that bad. It even starts to sound kind of cool.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I'm sorry for comparing him to Kuze. I'm sorry, Rowan. Just like without Natsu, I didn't have many memories of speaking with Uncle Kraus. He had never been one to chat with children, and I felt like he was just talking with the adults, just like Natsu. According to my father's gossip, he was a spiteful and violent man.
Oh no.
If what he said is true, Uncle Kraus used to be very dominating from his position as oldest sibling, and was despised by all the other siblings.
Oh no.
Though despite that, those siblings all seemed to be chatting happily together. Oh well, even if the relationship was bad when they were children, sometimes when people grow up and live apart from each other, their relationships change. That's probably what this was.
Yeah, that's obviously how long-term trauma works.
After all, they all had children of about the same age. Are you saying that's not how that works?
I mean, have you not seen Am I the Asshole Reddit? Which I've been obsessing for the last month, reading the void, looking into the void.
It's crazy because sometimes it's like, oh, I'm not sure it's like my partner is saying I'm the asshole. They're doing this stuff, and I'm like, am I the asshole? Oh no, their partner is gaslighting them horribly. This is how did they believe this was okay?
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it's like, am I the asshole? I think I'm not the asshole.
Am I the asshole for taking away my son's birthday cake right in front of him during his birthday, in front of his friends and family? Am I the asshole?
It gets even worse than that, because it's like...
Oh yeah, no, that's like the most kid-friendly version on stream I can think of.
Oh,
like, there's
yeah.
worse, yeah. I don't want to, like, accidentally trigger anyone's, traumatic event, so I'm just...
I shit in our family oven sometimes. Am I the asshole? It's either I shit in our family oven sometimes. Am I the asshole? Or my partner got angry at me for yelling at them for shitting in the oven sometimes. Am I the asshole?
God.
It's one of those two.
God. Yeah.
By sharing the same family environment, they probably profited by exchanging opinions. Maybe because of that, a short while ago, the circle of parents began to discuss the exam Jessica would be doing. Also, people do not let go past trauma or just like petty shit. It stays.
Yeah. Like, I'm very clearly, it sounds like they're trying to compare their children as, like, the competition to each other. Like, oh yes, my child has this exam, she's gonna go to this prestigious college, how about your bum of a son? But, like, passive-aggressively is the vibe I'm thinking of.
Jessica, in order to escape questions about exams from my father on the left, Percy faced right while firing off a rapid series of comments, not giving him any chance to get a word in.
Heck yeah, Jessica, deflecting any of this fucking shit.
Moving
Talk
on,
to your girl.
let's look at the end of the opposite from Cross and the others. In the very last seat of the table, an old gentleman with a sturdy physique sat, facing Kiryu-san. This was my first time meeting him. I'd only just been introduced to him, but it seems he's grandfather's personal doctor, a man called Nanja. I heard he used to own a huge clinic on the nearby island of Nijima, but he turned it over to his son and began living a life of leisure in his old age. He had known grandfather since the very beginning when the mansion was first constructed on this island and had built up a relationship over several decades. I thought at first the two of them might have gotten to know each other through grandfather's suspicious hobbies, but it seems he was actually grandfather's chess partner. I see. That kind of hobby seems very like your grandfather, what with his love of all things Western. Nandra's probably the only person who could enter Rokujima despite being neither a family member nor a servant. He looked like a calm old gentleman as he listened to the discussion between Kiri and the other woman who sat near him. Considering how long he stayed by the side of her short-term grandfather, his generous heart was probably nothing to laugh at. Still, even if he was a family doctor, having anyone outside the Shume family attend the family conference was a little odd. It made me think that grandfather's condition might have worsened so much it'd be a major topic of discussion at today's conference. After all, George said something like that just a second ago. Something about how we've been getting continuous reports since around last year that grandfather didn't have long to live. It's nasty to think about, but consider how rich grandfather is. At the time of his death, his wealth will be suddenly released, probably along with a fair share of her parents' stomach acid. And it'll lead to ulcers for everyone. After all, this sort of thing just gets messy when there's more wealth to divide. There's a good chance they'll be talking about stuff like that at the family conference. Still, it's not like it's got anything to do with us kids. Finally, even though he hasn't shown up, let me introduce your grandfather. The person who should be sitting in that incipient chair is Ushiromi Akinza.
Rowan says, I took my stepson's birthday cake and gave it to my real child who hadn't had a birthday cake this week. Am I the asshole?
Those are also all super accurate. Both of those.
Oh, they are. God, the amount of, like, people being shitty to their own stepchildren, I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god, I'm like, ugh. And then Jamie says, woman's am I the asshole? Be like, I cook, clean, and pay the rent while my boyfriend plays video games all day and he wants sex 6 times a day instead of 5, but I'm too tired. Am I the asshole? Oh my god. And then Jamie says, men's am I the asshole's like, my girlfriend keeps telling me to wipe my ass even though wiping is gay. Am I the asshole?
I forgot wiping is gay, dude.
Oh my god! Oh my god. Hey, at least it's not the Iranian yogurt isn't the problem. That one was just like, oh my god, woman, you're living in a infested yogurt apartment. Please, get rid of them all.
Anyway,
like, oh
let's
God.
go. Let's get back to these assholes instead.
I know, right? Oh my god, now if you have a cursed idea of what would their Am I the Asshole posts look for each character be?
Oh no.
What would Kinzo's Am I the Asshole Reddit would be?
To
be fair, I don't think he would actually make a post, but if
he's
he would make
he's
one,
too confident.
yeah. I feel like Battler would make one, definitely.
Am I the asshole for attempting to grope the servant girl?
Oh my god, you're right, that would be his post. Oh
Am I the
God.
asshole for telling my 9-year-old cousin to let me touch her boobs when she grows older?
No! People will be like, I'm calling the police.
I was just joking though.
So the only reason why I've gone to Am I the Asshole is because I found a really fun pod called The Judgies, and they're actually really funny, SK and Jamie, of them just reacting to Reddit posts, and also all the hosts have really good like chemistry together, so it's just entertaining on top of the Am I the Asshole like posts they read, and it's wild, but yeah, it gets depressing when you get really deep into the rabbit hole.
Oh, that's terrible, Rowan. If only his name were written Kinzo, but he let us call him Goldsmith or something, that I'd totally freak out. As you can probably guess by now, he's a frightening person with an extremely short temper. I'm one of his grandchildren, not a son. I haven't seen him since elementary school. Thanks to that, I have no memories of being beaten myself, but our parents were apparently raised with an iron fist.
Oh my god.
That earlier conversation between my dad and Uncle Cross about who should go convince grandfather to calm down. Seems pretty darn funny once you know their backgrounds.
Wait, what?
You can't really tell grandfather's story without covering the pivotal event back before the Showa era. 1926 to 1989. Until the Meiji, 1868 to 1912, and Taisho, 1912 to 1926 eras, the Yoshiromiya family was great and prosperous. They owned several spinning mills, making them rich enough to double over laughing every day as the money kept rolling in. Incidentally, grandfather was a member of a branch family and had pretty much nothing to do with the main family. Not only was the way he way down the list of people who could inherit the headship, but he had hardly any contact with the glamorous main family. However, during the Great Kanto earthquake in the year Taisho 12, 1923, the mansion owned by the Oshiromiya family in Odawara was flattened. The spinning mills in Tokyo were all burned down in a huge fire. And the Oshiromiya family lost most of its wealth and family members in an instant. So once they started trying to figure out who the successor of the Oshiromiya family should be, they apparently found no one remaining except Kinzo and his branch family. In Kinzo's later reminiscences, he referred to this as good fortune so great that it overturned fate. With that, grandfather's boring everyday life did a 180. He was entrusted with reviving the dying Oshiromiya family, which he had lost nearly all of his wealth. However, just because he had been entrusted with this task didn't mean he could accomplish it. Apparently, those around him weren't really expecting much. However, this is when grandfather began displaying his extraordinary talent and good luck. Grandfather used all the family's remaining wealth, as well as everything from the hair on his head to his toenails, as collateral in order to borrow a massive amount of money. Once he had built up a gigantic war chest, he immediately invested in businesses. It was like someone tumbling down a hill on a bike without any brakes, and then jumping onto a neighboring bike, and then another one. Just like some crazy street performance. I'll bet everyone thought grandfather had no business ability whatsoever. However, after several miracles and turns of good luck, with coincidences piling up and every chance taken advantage of, he was then suddenly in control of powerful connections with the occupying forces. At the time,
maybe that's where his West Boo comes from.
At the time, MacArthur and the GHQ were the ultimate authority in Japan. Grandfather, in a twinkle of an eye, began succeeding in business under the protection of the occupying forces, quickly becoming rich. By this point, it's probably safe to say the information, not luck, saved the day. He must have made some seriously deep connections with the occupying forces. Grandfather knew beforehand about the emergency demands that were made for the Korean War. No, it was more than that. He must have predicted those emergency demands from the very beginning when he started investing his money. The history books make it sound like all of Japan made a large profit off the emergency demands during the Korean War, but that isn't actually true. Only a very limited number of the super rich played the money game and made an easy profit. Most of the citizens remained poor. In other words, grandfather was a member of this extremely lucky group of winners. War profiteering.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure this all happened during the year of Showa 25 or so.
You know what? Maybe his kids don't deserve the blood money.
Money
Maybe
for...
They don't need the blood money.
The actual war profiteering money?
Yeah, they don't need that blood money. Maybe it was right.
The Great Kanto earthquake happened in Taisho 13, 1924. So, that means grandfather was able to revive the near-dead Ushiromiya family in only about 20 years, to a level even higher than it had ever been before. With that, you'd think he'd revive the main family in Odawara. But for some reason, he went and did something crazy as buying an entire small island in the Izu archipelago. Buying an entire island is not something that you can ordinarily do today. However, grandfather was clever. He contacted the GHQ and applied for the establishment of a marine resource base. He acquired this island as a business property, then tossed the project aside and claimed it as his own plot of land.
Oh my god.
After the war, there were prevention measures against food shortages, and having the sponsorship of the GHQ meant that nobody could oppose him. From what I've heard, the Tokyo metropolis of that day offered this land to him practically for free. Later, Tokyo made difficulties by telling Kinzo to return the land, but the pushy GHQ intervened. Anyways, it seems under-the-table bribes did their work well. In the end, the city gave up in frustration. Grandfather, with considerable skill and good luck, managed to weather the stormy seas of that period, obtaining a vast fortune in his own island. Of course, it probably wasn't all luck. He was obsessed with all things Western, which helped him cultivate his English skills. He was able to use this to advantage and sink his teeth into the GHQ. A mansion was built on the island soon after. This mansion, in fact. Grandfather, with his love of the Western style, made this once uninhabitable island a canvas upon which he could realize his dream to his heart's content.
He was a Westerbo. He was.
He now had the Western mansion of his dreams, overflowing with emotion and atmosphere, and a beautiful garden featuring all sorts of roses. And he had a private beach where nobody other than himself would ever be permitted to leave a footprint. This would be a dream come true for any boy. After that, he made good use of his huge fortune, becoming a large stockholder in the extremely stable iron and steel industry, and able to live easy, comfortable life just using the dividends. Well, he's just that incredible. This kind of person usually has the ability to foresee and predict the future, or at least that's how they're portrayed after the fact. But Grandfather denies all that, repeatedly saying that he was simply blessed with extraordinary luck. Anyway, even a lord like that can't help but grow increasingly eccentric when locked up alone on an island where all his dreams are made real. Everyone knows.
Did Beatrice give him like future psychic powers to make those business goals? Is that what he says when he gave her the wealth? That's what I'm thinking's going on here.
That's interesting.
Like,
That would help you do some war profiteering.
Yeah. He's like, alrighty, Sal. I'll give you this future sign. I'll tell you how to invest in the stonkiest of stonks.
The mystic eyes of stonk perception.
Yep.
The mystic eyes of stonk perception. Everyone knows the Western obsession from the start, but none of our parents really know when his bizarre black magic hobby began. Does the love of black magic begin way back when he became fascinated with everything Western? Or does a miraculous stretch of good luck while reviving his family cause him to feel a mysterious power in himself? At some point, Grandfather began to make the research of black magic his life's work. He filled his study up with suspicious books and chemicals and magical items as he became increasingly bizarre. From what I've heard, those around him warmly washed over him, figuring that someone who achieved success in life had a right to do as he pleased, but there's no way that's true. They were probably just creeped out thinking, that's disgusting, I don't want to get involved. Anyway, that agitated period was the age of big gambles, with both the opportunities and risks. Let's say Grandfather was born in this time period. He would have no opportunities, would probably advance like a chess piece from mandatory education to college at a leisurely pace, never becoming more than an average salaryman. If that happened, he'd probably sat somewhere happily talking behind his boss's back. No, not in a fancy dining hall like this. More like at a table in some bar. Then again, I bet this family conference would be a whole lot more relaxing if that were the case. Okay, that's enough about that old geezer. More importantly, let's talk about this incredible lunch.
Time for the only porn that matters, food porn.
I'm already convinced by the sashimi salad appetizer. Goda-san's an excellent chef. Plus, these fish were caught in the adjacent seas, weren't they? They're totally different from the sashimi you get at the supermarket.
Hey, quit it, battler! Your upbringings will be exposed!
Everyone let out a big laugh. Damn it, you say that even though you love those cheap pubs. I've eaten many unusual places because of work, but this stands right up there with the best of them. I'll be willing to bet Goda-san used to be pretty well known in the circles. Well, I don't know the details, but stuff got complicated. A long-standing hotel he used to work at, and what with them opening a new establishment with the same name and breaking into factions or whatever it was. In the middle of all that, he was apparently forced to retire. At the time, Mom just happened to be sending out job offers for a student. As Go to remove the empty plates, he began to recount his own bumping past without losing a smile. The world is a difficult place. However, thanks to Madam, I was given a chance to display my skills as chef once again. This time for the Oshiromi family. Though I enjoy experiencing the smiles of a large number of people, I also find it quite entertaining to perform more delicate work that can please the limited number of those who have employed me. All this is thanks to the opportunities given to me by the Madam. Goto-san respectively bowed his head toward Aunt Natsui.
That's because you were the most talented of the applicants. The decision was purely objective, not based on personal feelings, so there's no need to thank me.
Dang, why does Natsui have to always sound so indifferent? If only she spoke with a bit more kindness, she might leave a different impression. Shannon-chan and Kumasawa-san entered from the hallway with the surfing cart.
Please excuse us.
I was Shannon, I think, actually. Was
Well,
I?
yeah, you were. I think.
Okay.
I don't even. Yeah, I think you were.
Now then, let's move on to today's dessert. Goto-san and the others laid the beautifully adorned dessert out in the front of us all. Yes, it's true when they say you've another stomach for dessert. I thought I'd already filled up on delicious food, but as soon as I laid eyes on dessert, my stomach started yelling, more. I don't know much about desserts, but this looked really good. I have an unbelievable sweet tooth.
Me too. I'm just like cake
Oh,
and
yeah.
ice cream
Oh, yeah.
and
Legitimately, when I was in a pretty bad place with my depression, right, I, like, before it got even worse, I would just, like, I wouldn't eat at all, and then, like, I just got really hungry while working at my security guard job, and I would, like, crush out a whole bag of cookies, and it was horrible.
oh my goodness. You're not a programmer if you forget to feed yourself and you just snack all the time.
Don't you love when you're
That's the move.
Don't you love when you're awake at like 3 and you're like, I don't have time to cook. I need to fix this bug.
Yep.
I'm
That's why.
just gonna snack on all this food.
Where I live, there's a lot of boba tea places.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like a very big craze in California, and I'm just like, there's some really good like sugary specialty boba tea places. I'm just like, I want that.
I
want
always
this
get
very
like mango
sugary.
and like lemon stuff from
Yeah.
boba tea places.
The ones that are around here have a lot of milk tea boba teas, and they're really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A white pudding-like substance was garnished with 2 shades of red sauce. An elegant rose petals adorned the dish. Normally, during a high-class meal like this, you're supposed to wait for the chef to extol the virtues of this particular meal before eating. However, Maria was completely indifferent to the strict rules like that, so she got excited by this beautiful and delicious-looking dessert, and jumping into the fray as soon as it was placed before her. Aunt Rosa scolded her, calling it bad manners, but George responded by saying, Now, it's okay.
Ooh. This part's sour. This part's sour. Battler, this one's no good. Ooh.
Maria exclaimed as she sampled the 2-colored sauces.
What? Some are good and some bad. Okay, I'll give it a go. Mmm.
Apparently one sauce was sweet and the other sour. Despite being bad manners, I stuck my little finger in and licked it. Whoa, one of the sauce was sour enough to make you pucker up. If I were to yell, I'd expect lemon, but I couldn't guess what kind of sourness would be red. I decided to ask Shannon, who was putting away the serving cart behind us.
Shannon, what kind of sauce is this sour stuff?
Shannon John hesitated. Maybe her job was just to set the table, she doesn't really know. Still, even considering that, she seemed pretty stressed. Maybe I shouldn't have asked. Or did they use some ingredient that we'd better off not knowing about?
Oh, are they implying that they're poisoning them? I mean, I'm down with that too.
Ooh. The servant rebellion starts.
Yes. Led by Beatrice. She's like, we must rise up, armed with. Still bring up your chain. We must shackle these chains. With our sickles and hammer, we rise up against the bourgeoisie.
Kumasawa-san, who was setting the table at the opposite seat, began to chuckle. What do you think we made them out of? Oh ho ho, it'll shock you.
I don't have a clue. Wait a sec, Kurosawa boss-san, that laugh's pretty creepy. So what is it?
Don't tell anyone, okay? Listen very carefully. Kumasawa leaned in across on the other side of the table. I leaned forward myself when she asked. Their interest caught Jessica, George, Aniki, and of course Maria also put their ears closed.
Ooh. What? What? Quickly! Quickly!
You see, the sour part is made from juice squeezed from a mackerel. Ho ho ho.
What? Mackerel?
That's crazy, we all thought, horrified. Only Maria accepted it, nodding sagely.
Mackerels are sour. This is what comes out of when you squeeze them?
When Maria started clamoring, the mackerel were sour. Adults were unable to contain their laughter. Only Aunt Rosa, her face red, whispered to Maria, the mackerel's only sour once prepared as shimisaba. Ah, now I totally remember. Kumasawa was always like this, wasn't she? I remember her tricking me out to all sorts of ways when I was young. The most lethal has gotta be that one. Those flimsy black things in Chinese dishes. The kikurage mushrooms. She told me they were penguin meat, and I went all around school like a smartass telling everyone, didn't I?
Oh my god.
Kurosawa boss-chan, you sure haven't changed. You know Murray's gonna believe it now, right?
Oh, it's just a joke. Now Goto-san's going to tell us what the sauce really is, won't he? Goto looked a little put off about his masterpiece being laughed at for such a bizarre reason. But after clearing his throat once again, he introduced the dessert to us. Well then, allow me to introduce our dessert. After seeing how much you all enjoyed the rose garden earlier today, I finished this panna cotta in a rose garden style. The rose petals scattered across were selected just now from that very rose garden. The sauce is a combination of two reds, strawberry and rose hips. Please enjoy this mixture of strawberry sweetness and the rose hip sourness. That sounds really good with panna cotta, actually.
That does sound good. I'm now gonna be like, I need to get some dessert after this stream. I'm getting dessert after this stream. Treating myself.
Good. So please avoid them while you eat. The rose petals are merely decorated, so please avoid them as well you eat. But that said, please enjoy. A rose hip in this sauce? What is hipped even? What would hipped even mean?
Who's hipped? That's gotta be like a cooking term that I don't.
No,
I've already
no,
seen it.
no. A
Like,
rose hip's just a part of a rose, right? And cooking, right? Rowan's playing on a shrimp fried this rice meme.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Says here, rose hip is a type of. Okay, yeah. Accessory fruit of the various rose plants. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Whoa, man! I almost want to applaud before eating. Just like with medicine, reading the detailed description first seems to make it work a whole lot better. As Goto-san elaborated on the details of this dessert, it started feeling even more appetizing. Seriously, should you just call him subtle or just talented? The dessert was probably planned from the beginning, but taking the hint when we all stopped in front of the rose garden earlier today, he displayed an incredible and timely awareness by just adding confused rose petals from that garden. This combination of sweet and sour was also exquisite. If it's just sweet, you just get used to it and bored halfway through. But if you reach the sour sauce at the point, you get a really vivid taste. And then once again you return to the sweet sauce. All the sourness in your mouth would be replaced with an enjoyable sweetness. I'm sure everyone else felt the same way. Every time Goto-san passed by one of her seats, someone praised the taste in its presentation. How is it, madam?
Splendid as always. It's so worthy of entertaining our guests.
I am most grateful for your words. Madam, did you know? I've heard that rosehip has the ability to cure headaches. I thought that you in particular would appreciate it, so I had specially prepared.
Is that so? Thank you. See, didn't I tell you, Natsui-ni-san? Rosehip is great for headaches. So it seems. I do hope it actually helps.
Ha! Goda-san, I love ya. Hey, later on, why don't you tell me how they're treating you? Or if you can't, just let me know the sort of salary you like. Having your talent confined to this small island is sacrilegious to humanity's cooking culture. What do you think about working your craft for my company and delighting all our customers?
Hiroshi-san, are you trying to steal away our Gouda? Now that won't do at all. We'd better start treating Gouda better or he'll get snatched up.
Yes, you really should. If you don't, someone's gonna grab him and you'll be stuck with 3 meals of Kumasawa style mackerel cooking. A day, won't you? Yo! Hello! The sea cats
Hello.
are actually, in fact, not crying. We haven't seen a single sea cat.
No, we have not.
They're actually missing. Nya, nya. Oh, that's harsh. It seems someone's holding a grudge against me. Wahaha! Everyone let a huge laugh. According to Jessica, Kumasawan's macro jokes were a running gag that her parents had long since gotten used to. Kumasawa-san often claimed that mackerels had precious nutritional value, which could slow aging and make people smarter and more. That reminds me, I remember during Umineko's run, didn't like mackerel place pretty highly in like the character popularity contest?
Wait, from where? Was this a thing that actually happened in the Umineko fandom, or?
Yes, mackerels actually placed decently high in a popularity poll.
That's pretty hilarious.
It's like Kobeni's car, but not quite as funny.
Oh my god, that car! Kind of voted for that car, but of course I voted for Kobeni first.
Good.
Kobeni, the best girl.
Supposedly, while it couldn't stop the outward signs of aging, it helped prevent it on the inside. Since she was still spirited enough to tell these kind of jokes at her age, there must be something in that theory. Oh, in that case, if you'll excuse me, prepare yourself for tonight's dinner. I'll be cooking plenty of mackerel dishes for you all, so you better look forward to it.
Wow, we sure will. Can't wait to get all puckered up from tonight's shimsaba.
That sounds wonderful. And yes, once the workers unite and kill all these rich assholes, we'll you know.
Kobeni's best girl by process of elimination, yes. She was always the best girl. People were like, Power, best girl. I was like, nah, Kobeni. I loved her the moment I saw her. I was like, Power's okay, but Kobeni's great. Borger Girl's great. Great.
But what about Quan Chi, though?
Quan Chi is good too. She just wasn't there long enough to really like. Grab
Okay,
me
I
in,
know, I'm
you know?
joking. Also,
Yeah.
Makima's if you are a sub.
Wait, who?
Makima.
Oh, yeah.
For when you're a bottom.
God.
I wonder if they'll be serving any good Japanese sake. Oh, we certainly will. Haven't you heard of Rockenjima's famous mackerel shochu? Kumasawa-san, together with Shannon-chan, bowed and pushed the serving cart away. It was pretty funny to watch Goda-san, who looked like his show had totally been stolen, explaining in a serious voice that we would have been having calf steak for dinner. Kumasawa-san, thanks for doing that back there. As she pushed the serving cart, Shannon bowed her head very deeply. Oh, Himeno died so early.
my god, she did die. Oh, I forgot. Oh my god. I bet you that's the big emotional twist when people watch that anime.
Mm-hmm.
God. I'm actually curious how much the anime is gonna cover.
I
feel like there might be just one season and then they'll have like a second season.
I feel like they gotta get to Katana Man. It's like either you gotta either end with Katana Man or Reze. But
Yeah.
if you have an extended season, they might be able to get through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Also, I really want to see the Power of Light animated.
Of what?
The Power of Light. Remember when Denji attempts to fight, Santa?
Oh, yes! Yes! Oh god, that one...
Yeah.
That one fight scene's gonna be... I'm very curious what's gonna look... God... The darkness...
Oh, how are they gonna animate that scene? It pops so much cause it's just panels.
Yeah, it's just panel. I think it's because of the cuts and also... It's also black and white. I would be down if they did like a style choice where like hell is black and white and it's just a manga panel. That'd be cool.
Oh, they had to push it in some way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, those panels are so good.
They are.
Anyway, we'll get that and Hoseki no Kuni and more real and like other stuff we've been waiting for eventually.
It's been a year. It's been a year.
A whole year. Just 9,999 years left. Just 9,990 years left, Jupiter. Enjoy your dinner.
God, yeah, have a nice dinner.
At least Vinland Saga is updating pretty frequently. We're at Vinland.
I still watch it. Yeah.
It's so good. I haven't done anything that requires thanks. Kumasawa-san may have played dumb, but obviously understood and saved Shannon in the nick of time. Back when Battler had asked about dessert, Shannon had unfortunately...
She hesitated and gave away the plan.
I hope I'm not coming down with something.
Oh, I hope not. Hope you're doing okay.
Back when Battler had asked about dessert, Shannon had unfortunately hesitated. There may have been several ways to dodge the question, but all of them would have required some quick wits. Shannon, who hesitated when hard-pressed for a response, was always suffering because of this small weakness. If only Shannon had a little craftiness needed to cleverly shake up a mistake like Goda, her life would have been a bit easier. The fact that she could perform other tasks flawlessly made this weakness even more unfortunate. However, there were some who understood Shannon's honest nature, or her inability to gloss over a mistake and draw attention away from it. That's why Kumasawa had smoothly come to her rescue. I just heard from Genji-san that it'll be changed in the afternoon shifts. I believe you were given a break until this evening. Oh, I'm jealous. Huh? Oh, sorry, I haven't checked the shift chart yet. Ah, yes. I was thinking I might start cooking some mackerel in the oven. If you don't mind, I would be happy of you to help a bit before your break. Ah, yes. I'd be delighted to help. To Shannon, Kumasawa-san was like a mother among the servants. The dining hall needed to be cleaned up, so we were chased out. Instead, tea was being served in the parlor. Apparently, they had prepared the black tea that Aunt Rosa had bought for Aunt Natsui. Maria said she also wants to have some black tea, but my old bastard said she couldn't have told us children to go play outside. Betherkin, why don't we all go for a walk outside?
Go ahead and take a look at the roses or something. But keep a close eye on the weather. The sky's still clear, but the weather report kept on talking about rain.
Ooh. I want to go to the beach. The beach!
Oh,
beach episode!
Oh, that sounds wonderful. We really need a beach episode right now. Playing on a sandy beach isn't something you get to do often, is it? Ah, good point. Okay, let's all go to the beach then. Maria, be careful not to get your clothes wet. Or your shoes.
Ooh, won't get wet. That obedience is so cute. Battler-kun makes you keep. Battler-kun, make sure you keep an eye on an.
Words hard.
That obedience is so cute. Battler-kun, make sure you keep an eye out for Maria-chan, okay?
Sure, leave it to me.
Hey, you're pretty obedient and cute yourself, listening to Kiri like that. Why don't you also listen to me obediently for a change?
Ha! Hell no! Let's go, everyone, come on!
The children
Just
flew
like
out of the
the
parlor.
fade in his face.
Just look like the sudden fade out.
Fuck you, Dad. They were replaced by Genji, who was pushing a serving carton and prepared to serve the tea. The parlor was filled with sublime aroma, which delighted everyone while they waited to sate their thirst.
Rudolph's family certain seems close. It's a wonderful thing.
Granted, we're no match for your family, Aniki.
That's true. You've raised Jessica-chan to be so adorable. I imagine that's yet another fruit of your talents at education and training, Natsuine-san.
Thank you.
Natsu answered coldly. The conversation broke off then, and the parlor fell in silence. Maybe Hideyoshi couldn't bear the silence because he broke it himself with an exaggerated gesture.
Still, they sure do grow fast. I thought they'd be kids forever, but they start getting huge all of a sudden and then they're adults like us. Battler-kun looks like a completely different person now.
His body hasn't grown much bigger, but he's still just a kid. Though you could say the same about my husband.
I wonder where the border between child and adult is. Huh. I still don't feel as though I've grown up.
It's almost as if trauma actually, like, reduces your ability to mature or something like that. I don't know. No, it can't be that.
Isn't that pitiful? That's not something the mother of a child should say.
Ooh, this guy's an asshole.
That's right. We're not children anymore. We're all adults now. So I wish I could talk together on an intellectual level rather than an emotional one.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Facts do in fact not care about your feelings, Rosa.
Oh my god.
When Ava smiled with a sharp sarcasm, everyone seemed to get more tense. It felt as though the pleasant tea aroma had been tossed out the window.
Since long ago, we've always endeavored to engage in intellectual conversations. It seems your sarcasm occasionally misses its mark. Just as it always has.
Oh, what is it you've always endeavored to do? My. I wish I could wrap those words up and send them to this room a few decades ago. Right, Rosa? Rosa gave a vague smile. She knew
Is
that
Rosa the youngest?
Rosa's the youngest.
Ooh, I'm not feeling this dynamic. I feel like Rosa being the youngest kid, probably has a rough dynamic with her siblings then. Ooh.
She knew that whether she agreed or disagreed, she'd earned the displeasure of one of her siblings. It's a bit of worldly wisdom that had been essential for someone growing up as the youngest sibling.
Wait it, Aniki. We'd better get started on our main topic while the brats are around. Let us make that our intellectual discussion.
As Rudolph glanced over the face of all present, some let out a slight sigh and some let a small look of resignation cross her face. They were approaching their unavoidable agenda. True agenda.
Who's gonna give me the choco milk now? Where's the family? They all
I-
want their father's absinthe collection. That's
I-
what they want. That's the real money-making scheme.
They
It's a
want Genji.
collector's-
Where is Genji?
Oh my god.
Last year, his life expectancy was estimated about 3
The
months.
Gilfussy. I'm sorry, I just said Gilfussy. You can just shoot me now.
God. Oh my god. The Gussie.
Gussie.
Okay.
Last year, his life expectancy was estimated at about 3 months. Which I guess means he's got negative 9 months now. Should we take that to mean it might suddenly happen at any time?
The family head is still alive and well. The fact that you bring up such an inappropriate topic under the light of day makes me doubt your sanity, Rudolph-san.
Still not Sui-san. This is the sort of thing you can't put off until after something happens. He's still healthy now, which makes this the perfect time to talk about this while we still got time to plan. It's just a bit of financial etiquette, you might say.
It seems father is the focus of everyone's concern. Dr. Nanjo, could we hear the details from you? That appears to be what everyone else is waiting for. After all.
Nanjo, who'd been standing by the window and staring out the rose garden, let out a single cough when realizing he was being called. Dr. Nanjo, how is father's condition?
Well, to begin, allow me to start with a revision, since my estimate last year that he had only 3 months left was not borne out. No need to explain. You're saying that measuring remaining life is only a prediction, not...
Oh. I don't know who this is.
No need to explain. You're saying that measuring remaining life is only a prediction, not a promise, right?
That is correct! Because of that, well, while I will accept everyone's repeated questions, I can by no means confirm that he will pass away.
Someone just murder him at this point.
A human's life is supported by their body and their mind. If the body is weak, the situation becomes more dangerous. But if the mind is strong enough to compensate for that weakness, the effects of one's condition can sometimes remain in a subdued state.
So you're saying that even if his body is weak, his mind is still firm and spirited?
Gary, sorry, but please stay quiet for a bit.
What? What? I'm sorry.
That is correct. Kenzo-sen's body is being overwhelmed by the demon of ill health. This will hold especially true as long as he continues to partake of such strong alcohol.
So, he's in a crisis now because he drinks. How the fuck is his kidneys not failing him now?
He drinks like 7 cups of absinthe a day.
Oh my god, how is he not dead at this point?
And maybe he's lived this long because he drinks. That's dead. There's dad for you, the heavy drinker.
Maybe that's why he's kind of abusive. Maybe he's an abusive alcoholic. Oh god.
Well then, Doctor, I know you can't give anything more than a prediction. But what do you think about father's chances of living until this day next year?
That's quite a rude question to ask about the family.
Natsuki jumped on Ava, not even bothering to hide her astonished expression.
He's like, look here, lady, you're not the one that's traumatized by him. I want him to die, so I...
Ava stared back jeeringly, but Hideyoshi realized what was going on and tried to smooth things over with a forced smile.
Ah, Natsui-san, forgive her. Eva chose your words a bit more carefully, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just so concerned about father's condition.
Is that so? I hadn't realized. Dr. Nanjo, please tell us. For the sake of the beautiful love of a daughter worried about her father's lifespan.
Kraus laughed sarcastically, and Ava, smiling sweetly, returned an identical chuckle.
You asked whether he'll still be healthy by next year? But as a doctor, it's very hard to say. Because, while I do think this lull in his condition will continue for a while, if he suffers from some kind of fit, there may be nothing we can do. After all, Rokenjima is a solitary island. It is not as though an ambulance could quickly jump in to save him. Normally, I wouldn't want to have him placed. I would want to have him placed in a large hospital on the. But Father started that he does not want his noble research interrupted. It seems he's hold a grudge over the way he tried to force him out last year. Apparently, he strongly suspects that he'll be shut away in some hospital if he goes outside. And that's how things are now.
Has Dr. Nanjo been examining him?
Father trusts Dr. Nanjo. It seems he can be examined when in one of his better moods. I can examine his condition, but if I try to recommend medicine or hospital... I can examine his condition, but if I try to recommend medicine or hospitalization, he refuses to listen. I really only been able to look.
It's true, some people hate doctors. Still, what a hassle.
Nanjo sighed deeply. The personal examination determined what medical treatment would be appropriate. Resuming the examination and then not following the advice given makes the whole thing pointless.
It says, lesson learned, if you get angry enough, you can beat cancer. Wait, who's talking here? Wario Man or Poggers Man?
I hate that you used to call him Poggers Man, but Poggers Man.
Okay.
So, to sum it up, he's still expected to live 3 months. There's no way to guess how long you're gonna live while still on the verge of death.
Rudolph-san! Couldn't you be a little more discreet with your words?
Aw, sorry. I've always talked this way. Give me a break.
With this specific voice,
Yep.
I understand how Dr. Nanjo sees it. What about you, Cross-Nisa?
To be perfectly honest, I have to disagree with Dr. Nanjo. I find it truly difficult to think of Father as a person so sick that he had only 3 months to live. His yells as healthy as ever, and I still get chills at the thought of his fist raining down on me. Pushing the care of your father solely on the soldiers of the elder sibling is far from fair.
Ha ha ha! In the next world, get born after me. Okay, let's get back on track. So, in the opinion of our impartial and neutral doctor, would it be odd for him to go any time? No offense to you, Aniki, but I'd rather trust the opinion of an expert in this field. Which means it's definitely not you. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Father's personal funds probably reached as high as several 10 billion yen, right? But it's not as though that's all neatly gathered as ready cash. It's not as simple as simply cutting a birthday cake with a knife.
That's an interesting way to put it. That's right. You sometimes get strawberries or chocolates on top of the cakes, making it hard to cleanly cut it into equal parts. Given that you think it's important to discuss beforehand how best to stick that knife in?
The phrasing of sticking in the knife.
I'm cannot understand how you all can openly discuss this as though the family head is dead, even though he's still alive.
Oh, come now, don't you see how important this is? After all, when the time comes, the inheritance of the fortune must be carried out immediately, right?
You know,
The
I
more...
don't blame their indifference, given the fact that this guy's clearly an abusive alcoholic.
More of the glory of Tsushiromi's house is built as fast. Don't you understand that careful discussion is necessary beforehand?
Yeah, they're just getting the important talks needed. This is responsible adult talk.
Yeah, Natsui should just let Ava keep girl bossing.
Exactly. And she will continue to gaslight her and girl boss her way to the top.
She will get that war profiteering money.
She will.
There's a huge difference between this family's resources and your family's wealth.
Oh, rude! My birth family has nothing to do with this!
Natsu responded indignantly, though in a low voice, and the already dark atmosphere grew even more hostile.
Give it a rest, Ava. Natsui-san, forgive us. Pardon our rudeness.
Hideyoshi tried to smooth things over by glancing at both the four small, but it resulted in making the hostility between Ava and Natsui even more intense.
It seems they'll just get in the way if I stay in any longer, so peace out, bro. Please excuse me. See you later, losers.
Nanto rose from his seat and exited the parlor. To an outsider, it might have seemed like a normal act of courtesy, but his back was watched by several glances envious of his ability to escape.
Everyone's like, I want out.
The air is just poison.
It is.
After the doctor had exited and his footsteps disappeared in the distance, Kraus recrossed his legs.
In other words, this is what y'all say. Father's remaining life is short. You want to quickly enter into a practical conference concerning the distribution of the inheritance. Why you so eager, I wonder? Certainly, as you say, estimating and distributing the Ushiromiya family wealth is no simple task. In that case, shouldn't we make careful and deliberate calculations? It seems to me that you are all impatient to split up the cake tonight. Isn't that true, Rosa? What reason is there to be hasty?
We aren't being hasty. However, we need to have an agreement between the siblings. It doesn't matter when we do that, but if the day Father's condition worsens is approaching, discussing the matter beforehand hardly seems hasty to me. Rosa shot a glance at Ava and Rudolph. As the youngest sibling in the family, it was hard for her to be cross-examined by the eldest.
Oh? Is that your true opinion? I didn't expect that the most honest and pure-hearted of the siblings would say something like that. I wonder if those two told you to say it.
What an ass.
Quit it, Aniki.
Rosa's one of Dad's kids too.
So instead of asking you which of these characters you like, in which order do you hate them the most?
Okay, so let's see. Who do I hate the most? Let's see. I hate Kraus. I feel like I'm not liking Kraus the most, especially given that his experience was he's the most hated sibling. He was already abusive to his other siblings from the way he's described. I'm not liking Kraus so far. You know what? No, Kraus is... I'm not liking him, but I'm not hating him yet either. I hate every... It's hard. I'm trying to rank this. I'm trying to sort this all out. I think Kyrie and I think Kyrie is like on the bottom. Kyrie's on the bottom.
Okay, alright.
And then Rosa, I think, is second. And then, I think, let's see, what's Ava's husband?
Hideyoshi?
Hideyoshi's third. Most of the Elsei family just seems to be less chill, although I do think Natsui is really mean to the help, so she's an asshole too. I am gonna put Ava after her husband, and then Natsui. I just think Natsui is more snobby. At least Ava is like honestly rude. Natsui tries to clearly try to blend into this family and seem sophisticatedly rude to like the help.
Ah.
And then I don't like Rudolph after her. I guess Kraus is on the top then. Battler's also nearing his. Battler and Rudolph, I feel like, are on the same too. I like Jessica too. I also think Jessica and
Maria.
Maria are on like the same tier as Kirie and Kuwabawa-san.
Kuwasawa-san.
Kuwasawa-san. I like her. She's funny.
Kuwasawa-san is funny.
She's funny. Wait, and then Goda, he is. I would put him in the same tier as. I put her in the same tier as Natsui.
And I guess Shannon and Cannon at best tier, and George is somewhere.
George, I think, is next to his mom. Wait,
Okay.
no. He's next. Yeah, he's kind of next to his mom. I feel like I put him next to his mom. This is like the indifference to I hate you to the I love you to the indifferent to the I hate you scale. We need to make an S tier list.
Well, we'll do that.
Stream.
We'll actually. I'd love to make a list after every episode and see how it progresses.
Yes, you know what? Let's do it. I'm down with it.
Yeah, sure. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Quit it, Aniki. Rosa's wanna dance too. She's got as much right to a.
Oh, sorry. I need to speak up to this mic.
She's got as much right to his inheritance. Rest of us. It's only natural that she'd be interested. After all, Dad'll definitely die. And that's not something that'll happen in the distant future. On the contrary, Aniki, you're way too relaxed. It almost seems like you'd like nothing better than the discussion away from the inheritance issue.
What do you mean by that? Are you trying to accuse my husband of something?
Yes.
Your husband is extremely sussy.
He's sussy baka.
God damn it.
No, I hate it.
Why can't we stop ourselves from doing this?
Listen to what we have to say.
Hey, you know what? This chat's also cursed. We brought it upon ourselves.
I blame Rowan when Rowan started the incest.
God.
Nissan, I hear times have been extremely good lately. Yes, since last year we've been in an unprecedented boom and the yen keeps on rising. It seems that it's no longer a dream that the dollar will reach 100 yen. Also, the ruling party says that it'll establish health resort maintenance laws by the next year. At this moment, resort development companies across Japan are running about trying to gather as much funding as they can.
Wait, so does he run the resort company, and she's like her own thing, or?
Well, we're about to see. Because currently Japan's in their big, huge economic boom where everyone thought they would just keep rising and everything would be just great forever.
Oh, that's right. This is before the crash happened. Oh,
yep.
Oh God, that's right.
And they're putting some new laws and regulations for resorts and stuff. So they're scrambling to build and get stuff done before that happens.
Oh my God. So let's quickly and dangerously make these resorts as fast as we possibly can.
You certainly seem to know a lot about it. Japan's about to experience an unprecedented boom. It'll be a repeat of the Korean War demands, a time which fought to revive the Ishinomiya family.
By the way, I absolutely love how instantly, as soon as talking about the Korean War demands, Rikishi was like, "Oh yeah, contrary to popular belief, the Korean War demands didn't help everyone in the country. They only just made a specific group of people super rich or richer.
Like
most of the citizens
invents in war profiteering, pretty much.
Yeah, and most of the citizens remained poor.
Yep.
The people of Japan have been working like mad, achieving vast economic growth and becoming well-off people in the world, reaching the height of our prosperity. We'd reach an era where private spending is vast, which means easy money for institutions that can capitalize on that fact. The three kinds of electrical appliances no longer represent the people's needs. The people need ski resorts, golf courses, public pools, resort hotels, and theme parks. Have you gone to Disneyland, which opened just a few years ago in Soviet Union? What an excellent theme park! It's a place where even adults can be a kid now. It's from his family. No longer do we count our sole virtue to be selfless devotion while failing to care for our families. We have become the most prosperous people in the world, and now we can finally enjoy the benefits.
And that
Disneyland.
bubble burst.
Cross out your foresight's nothing to sneeze at. When I heard this sort of thing several years ago, I thought it was crazy. But when I heard about the G4 Nations Plaza Accord, that all changed. The yen shot up, and I'll bet the price of land skyrockets too. That won't be long before Japan becomes the economic center of the world. You've got a great sense of direction the world's moving across. At least there can be no doubt about that. I feel the same as Hideyoshi. Aniki, you can read into the next decade of history. I'll bet you got that keen sense from Dad, and it's incredible.
It's so ironic since we already know what's up.
Oh god.
However, unlike Dad, the timing of your prediction has been a bit off sometimes, right?
Nissan, you've started resort projects everywhere, convinced Japan will soon see a boom, but almost all of them continue to fail. While I am sure that the era you predicted will soon arrive, it seems you misread the timing of that boom. You were too early. You then panicked and tried to sell everything off, which only opened the wounds even further. If your nose was really so reliable, then there'd be sure to be no reason for you to sell off your property. Is this proof that you mistrust your own ability?
How rude! Are you trying to insult my husband?
Natsu's forehead creased as she rose from the sofa. Eva, paying this no heed, stared at Kraus with a confident smile. Kraus, who also maintained his confident appearance, told Natsu to sit down.
Please stop, Natsu. Ava's always been incapable of talking any other way. Calm down a little, or your headache will get worse.
There's proof of your lack of talent right next to us. After all, Nissan, weren't you so excited about turning this island into a resort? You built a wonderful resort hotel and beautifully maintained the garden. I'm just an amateur and I don't pretend to understand, but you must have used a significant amount of money for that, right?
And what is that to you? My husband's business is none of yours.
Ava spitting out true facts here.
Actually, that's not true, Natsui-san. Rokiganjima doesn't belong to Aniki. It belongs to Dad. And of course, the hotel does belong to Aniki, right? In fact, we'd be more than willing to pay lodging fees for tonight. What do you think, Rosa?
Well, if what I have on hand will suffice.
If I can make it into a resort, this island's financial worth will rise. It is true that expenses have piled up, but we can expect a large harvest. When that happens, all you stand off the profits as well, do you not?
What do you like about all this financial talk that's happening?
Well, I love to see how it's very clear what this inheritance is probably going to be used for. And also just the facade is
Yeah.
breaking for some of these characters. Like, this guy is actually not as rich as he seems.
Hmm. I understand that. If the value of this island rises, that'll increase our portions when we distribute the inheritance. Of course, I won't ask you to divide the island of the mansion into 4 equal parts. We can resolve the matter with money equal to the value of the property.
If you understand that much, what about my business makes you so dissatisfied?
We aren't dissatisfied, we're uneasy. In the first place, Aniki, when do you plan to open that hotel? Left this way, you won't get anything out of it except our grubby hand, right?
That's right. It's an important tool for your business, isn't it? Surely you can't keep it locked up until the moment you open it. Buildings go bad if you don't use them, and air them out every once in a while. Even so, it's a bit extravagant for a guest house that we only use once a year. Right, Rosa? That's right. Considering how wonderful it is, I'm sure it'll become quite popular once you open it up.
Oh, so the hotel you keep talking about is the guest house.
It's splendid. Just as Rosa said, if you were to open, sure would become popular.
The lodging they had been guided to wasn't originally intended to serve as a guest house. It was originally constructed as a resort hotel. However, even though it was built 2 years previously, there was still absolutely no prospect of it opening. Nissan, it's just like all of your enterprises. Your attention and planning are both fabulous. Then it always becomes unmaintainable partway through and ends before you have a chance to earn any profit.
Oh, I see. So are they trying to rip out more of the inheritance out of the brother since they're trying to claim he's financially irresponsible with the money? I get the feeling that's what's going on here. They're like, actually, since you're gonna waste it all on stuff and we're gonna lose that money, how about you give it to us because we have a better idea of how to use it. So that's what it sounds like is going on to me. Disneyland, yeah, that made me do a spit take almost if I had some more with me.
We can say Disney. Fuck the mouse.
Yeah.
You were brilliant when you saw that using this island only as a place to live was a waste. I think it was a pretty good plan to turn into a resort that could use the prospect of marine sports, fishing, honeymoons, and like that. Sorry. Rudolph.
You were brilliant when you saw. Oh, yeah.
I think it was a good plan to turn it into a resort. That could use the prospect of marine sports, fishing, honeymoons, the like for customers. If I were the oldest son, I'm sure I'd have strained my brain, looking for a way to make a profit off this island.
But 2 full years have passed since you finished building, right? After 2 years, you still haven't had any opportunity to open it. Where's the managing company you entrusted it to?
Impertinence!
Can we appreciate this angry Nazi?
Yeah. Angry girl. It's the battle of the girl bosses.
It's not my husband's fault.
I don't know, maybe you should have planned better since your island's like cut off from most of civilization.
There has just been some trouble with the company that my husband contacted. No matter how you look at it, we are victims.
And yet, the rumors we've heard about this company you hired haven't been good at all.
Let's be clear about this, dear. Do you really think we wouldn't hear about how lack of payment, embezzlement, and other issues led to the project's disintegration mid-flight?
Oh my god.
We even have the evidence.
I don't know what evidence you think you found, but it's all baseless.
Absolutely not based.
Oh my god.
Very cringe of you to say that. Not based. As members in the tourism industry, it is a necessary various people. It's also important to investigate the trustworthiness of our partners. It's merely taken us some time to meet that goal.
So, like, is the implication that, like, their contract with the business was just to embezzle money then?
Hmm.
Is that the implication that they're
Currently the
saying?
implication is, oh, Krause's business is hella failing. How is he keeping all this money together and whatnot?
You're
Hmm.
not paying your workers properly, and you're embezzling all this fucking money.
But the
We'll
problem is,
blackmail you.
where would no, they've embezzled the money from Krause.
Oh! Holy shit. Wow. What an idiot. These guys...
You-
These guys,
You
Oh, I see what the father's saying about Cross now.
yeah. But you just don't get it. Hodel, Diamond Hands, I don't know, whatever else
You
Crypto
don't get
Bros say.
it. The line goes up. The line goes up. That's all we need to have. The line goes up. I'll admit that. In my rashness, the hotel was completely too early. However... Oh, wait. However, it's not as though we're paying maintenance costs. It's a foundation that will eventually become immensely significant.
Liar. I'll bet you want to liquidate it but can't. After all, there's no reason for you to such an extravagant hotel and an isolated, empty island without any established sightseeing routes. And anyway, what about all the loans you made for the project? Even if you aren't, even if you aren't incurring maintaining costs.
Oh, I'm giving everyone a Brooklyn accent. I need a... I can't. It's infecting everyone.
Okay, let's just take a break for a second, and we'll
Alright. Okay.
like just get some water. I'll also do that. Let's just toss up a big text to BRB.
Get some water, everyone. Take a break.
Anyway, I've gotten water. We'll just what?
Hey, I'm back. Sorry, I was like, got some water, and also I was worried about my cat.
Oh, how's Raiden doing?
He's doing great. It turned out he was in my closet, so I was like, wait, where's the cat? Why is it so quiet? Why is he not running around? He just, like, went inside a hole, and he just, He went to one of my like clothing like hampers and he just like slept on it
Ah.
and went to sleep.
How much longer do you want to go?
I'm down for like another like hour.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
That sounds good to me too.
Okay, sweet. Alright, give me one, just need to close the door.
Alright. Alright, we good?
So yeah, I'm very fascinated that this older I'm assuming that maybe like he's gonna try and turn the other siblings and be like, oh yeah, well, you're all flawed and y'all suck anyway. And then he'll be like, hey, at least I'm not the one in Bitcoin. And then
Which one of them is investing in Bitcoin before Bitcoin exists?
I feel like Rudolph would do it. Or not Rudolph. I
Okay,
feel like
alright.
he does it. I feel like and then I feel like Hideyoshi would totally get into Bitcoin. Like after he sees more people getting into it when it's all just, it's all like a publicity stunt, but he's like, "Oh, this actually does seem cool." And he doesn't know what the fuck Bitcoin is. Well, I think Rudolph and Bitcoin is.
Anyway, let's go. Let's continue on.
Yep. Oh, this is still Rudolph, right?
I think so.
Oh no, it's Hideyoshi.
Yeah.
Even if you are incurring maintenance costs, the borrowed money that you can't just keeps growing. Sorry, Cross Nissan. Oh, it is. Okay. But I've investigated the development plans for this island a bit. To be honest, I haven't heard anything good either.
Hideyoshi-san, I can see how you might be left with that impression by looking on current financial situations. But I promise you the line goes up. However, this is a forward-looking investment.
Just total.
I have no choice but to admit that my prediction was mistaken, and that up until now several liabilities have been created. However, the time has finally caught up with me. I will soon regain everything that I've lost up to this point. He's gonna gamble, isn't he? And he's gonna do the magic of gambling.
Ooh.
The magic of gambling. And that's why everyone has a gambling addiction. Alright.
No, actually, all the investments I have made up till now will finally return to my possessions. That's right, just like throwing away a small fry to catch a salmon. They will come back even bigger than before. I'll accept that. The resort business will probably see an boom before.
Though I don't know if it will be enough to cover all your debt.
Ooh, burn.
However, Cross Nissan, after all your failures in past, who exactly do you expect to provide you with?
And that's where the inheritance comes in, isn't it?
Ooh.
And this isn't some small amount we're talking about. You'll need enough funding to fill the mess of.
You're cutting out a bit more now.
Oh god.
Are you getting away from your mic? That might also be it.
I kind of am. Here, let me see. How is it? Here, I am not in front of it the most.
It is fine.
Yeah. Let me see. How is it timed right now? What's up the input? Okay. I'll just look at this. What are you trying to say, Hideyoshi-san?
Natsue-san, please don't get angry. We looked into this too. We checked to see who might have provided Cross Nissan financial support his recent large-scale projects, despite his string of failures. And we discovered that no such backer exists. The iron rule of the money roulette is that you bet against the loser. Aniki, are you fairly well-known loser?
Wow.
Aniki, you are a fairly well-known loser in this field. It's true, the prosperous times are about to come, but when we looked for people who considered that enough to overlook your string of failures, and also had enough for the investment, we found no candidates.
So, big question now is where you got all that money from.
Oh. Now isn't this intriguing? And?
How long do you plan to let the ridiculous remarks stand?
Sit down, Natsui-san. Let's cut to the point. Aniki, you've been diverting Dad's private funds for your own business. That's pretty much in room for no doubt.
Ooh, yeah, I knew it.
If you think we've made some kind of mistake, feel free to explain.
So yeah, they're asserting that he's embezzling their dad's assets.
He probably is, given that this guy has a long string of financial failures. I definitely would believe that. And as much as I hate rich people, this is an understandable thing to be mad at, since that is their will. Oh well. Rich people, am I right?
Mm-hmm. Rudolph, don't call it diverting funds. This is embezzlement, plain and simple. A huge crime that can be criminally prosecuted, unlike all the smaller crimes we do, like not paying our workers.
Not doing taxes. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Roman says, Hideyoshi-san, you need to understand you have to buy high and sell low.
Hideyoshi, I have diamond hands.
Oh my god.
We're going to the moon.
Oh my god. This sort of rudeness cannot be tolerated. How can you face the success of the Ushinomiya head family and accusations?
Oh, they aren't absurd. They're right on the mark. I'm sure he'd like to somehow make his business succeed and recover his losses, but his debt just keeps getting bigger. He's just trying to cover up the failure of one gamble by making an even bigger one. It's only natural that he try to grab any sorts of funding close at hand. Let me be frank, Nissan. What you're doing is embezzlement. You're betraying father. You know what? That we'll have the court settle this after it's all over, right? Do you think that kind of person has any right to call themselves the successor to the Yoshiromi head family?
Of all the...
Nazi,
You-
by
you-
the way.
Oh, of all the... You dare claim that he has betrayed the family head? Yeah, ma'am, embezzlement's illegal. You no longer have the right to straddle the thrones of the glorious Ushinomiya family. Leave this place at once. Now! And everyone left in the end. Get out!
Nasu had already reached the limits of her anger, shouted at Ava in a rage. She then pointed alternately at Ava in the hallway and demanded that she leave. Ava took out a folding fan and fanned herself with it, glaring maliciously at Nazi as though silently daring her to repeat what she said. Very girl boss behavior.
Very girl boss behavior indeed. Yes.
However,
Slay
her mouth was
queen.
still smiling, curved in the shape of a crescent moon. In that unpleasant silence, Rosa gulped. Hey, Natsui-ne-san. To whom do you think you're speaking to in such a tone?
I'm speaking to the exceedingly rude sister of my husband! As the person in charge of the main family's kitchen, I cannot overlook any more of this!
In charge of the kitchen? Be silent, lowly maidservant. Ava folded the fan with a snap and rose to her feet energetically. Compared to the elegance and playfulness she had shown until a second ago, she was now unimaginably aggressive. How foolish, you stand down! Before Ava, the Oshiromi family. You tell me to stand down, me, Oshiromi Ava, the third rank in the Oshiromi family's hierarchy and the one allowed to sit at the left shoulder of the head? Know your place, And then look at your own shabby self in a mirror. Where's the symbol of the wing on your clothes? Where are you permitted to wear the one-winged eagle? Aren't you nothing more than a borrowed womb to the house of the next successor of the Ushirama family? Whoa! Some internalized sexism there.
I know, right? But she girl bossing her right now. It's okay.
Yeah,
She
she
a girl
do be
boss.
girl boss son.
She be gatekeeping, you know?
She do be gatekeeping. She's gatekeeping the one-winged eagle. And being a part of the family. It's the classism.
God, the classism.
Understand your place, you common housemaid.
Oh my god.
His face twisted hideously as the words gouged into Natsu's heart like talons, wrenching at it. Natsu. There were 100 ways Natsu wanted to respond. However, anger and sorrow crushed her throat, and none of those words managed to make it to her mouth. Her anger had nowhere to go and became a single hot tear that slowly dribbled down.
Single tear.
What's wrong? If you have something to say, please do so. Come on! Ava faced her with a provocative gaze. However, Natsu could do nothing but tremble, her clenched fist quivering. Kraus quietly broke the powder cake tension.
Natsui, leave your seat. You should go cool your head.
What?
Natsu resented the fact that her husband had not come to her aid, shifted the focus of her attack.
Don't you understand what they're saying about you? These people are basically calling you a traitor. What? They are making light of the fact that we protect the glory of the Ishinobuya family, even though we are constantly expending every effort to earn the glory from Father. They trample all of that underfoot with their hateful rambling. And you don't even try to fight back? Why? I'm only standing up for us because you won't, but you've been putting the entire burden on me for some time now. And now, you tell me to go cool my head? It's always me! Even though I have always considered this family so seriously, you've...
Natsu was already unable to hide her tears. She flew from the room in that state. After that, all that remained was a somewhat embarrassed mood about the parlor. When the sounds of footsteps grew distant, Sans returned. Crush shrugged his shoulders slightly.
I apologize for my wife. She has always been bad at controlling her emotions, woman, am I right?
And, oh my god.
It's even been rough for me. You see, I'm the victim.
If that's what's managing your household, you must suffer to no end, Nissan. Calling her a that.
Oh my god. Wait, give me a moment. I need to close the curtains. My cat is trying to play with the curtains.
Alright. So, how's chat enjoying more awful people doing awful rich people things?
It's okay, it's all rich people. We're happy when they all die. God, this is so wild, and we're not even at the part where Beatrice comes in. Is like, I diagnose you with death. That's all I want, and all these rich people are already just at each other's throats.
Understandable, Ron.
Did she even need to come in here, honestly, at this point? When is Beatrice starting up the workers' revolution? Exactly. I want her to, like, come in, seize the means of production at this point, please. I hate all these rich people.
Madam.
It's nothing! Leave
Natsu flew into her room and threw herself on the bed, lamenting.
Chicago accent. I don't know what this accent is. Maybe
Question
it is.
mark.
Maybe it isn't.
Those heart-wrenching sobs reached Kumasawa in the hallway. Poor Madame Natsu. There's a deep enmity between her and Eva-sama. Explaining the relationship would be very trying for me as a woman. Ushinomiya family holds blood in high regard, but if a woman marries and leaves the family, they're normally removed from the family register. Thus, under normal circumstances, Eva-sama should have been removed when she married Hideyoshi-sama. However, there is no one deserving of blame in this matter. The madam certainly bears no guilt. There's nothing to call it other than the will of God. Kuro-sama and Natsu-sama were not blessed with children for some time. After this is the male-dominant Ushinomiya family. A wife is merely a tool to create an heir. If such a wife can...
In the 1980s, damn, y'all need to get a life.
Remember, these are rich people.
I know. Fucking rich people sound like they suck.
Yeah. From a traditional family in Japan.
Y'all suck. These all sound like killjoys.
Mm-hmm. If such a wife cannot fulfill her only duty, she will not even be treated as a human.
Oh my god. Well, already coming in with the sexism.
It pains me to remember how the master tortured Madam during that time. Back then, a wedding between Eva-sama and Hideyoshi-sama was being discussed. Eva-sama was sly. Taking advantage of Madam's inability to become pregnant, she gained the favor of the master. She inspired him to allow her to marry and give birth to successors herself, making sure to avoid transferring her name out of the Yoshiromiya register. The whole thing with family register is actually pretty big in Japan. It's still fucked up because if you're gay, you can't put yourself in family register. So people will do things where they will put each other as their adopted or whatnot to get each other in the same family register. There was vast difference in the Yoshiromiya hierarchy between Madam, who married into the Yoshiromiya family and was treated like an outsider, and Eva-sama, who was related to the family by blood, and whose husband took on the Yoshiromiya name. Furthermore, Eva-sama actually gave birth first and to a boy. As for how much weaker Madam's position was than Eva-sama's, well, I believe you could see for yourself. I'm sure Madam is tormented by the thought that if only she'd gotten pregnant earlier, the master wouldn't have accepted Eva-sama's request to keep her last name after marriage. And Eva-sama wouldn't have been permitted to act as arrogantly as she did today. However, that was not Madam's fault. All the blame lies within God's whims and the stork that delivered Jessica late. Even so, Madam won't allow herself to see things this way. She probably can't help but cry bitter tears as a woman at her inability to carry out the duties expected of a wife. Ah, how sad. I cannot do anything except watch over her from the shadows.
You know what? Beatrice sounds like she has a great life. She's just a witch that lives in the woods. I want that life. Be like, no love, no men, just tormenting rich people psychologically and killing them. What a girl boss.
Streaming for
totally
your tier 3 simp.
Yep. Fucking living the high life. She's like, fuck these rich people. I'm gonna be a witch in the woods. And I'm like, yeah.
The revolution will be streamed.
Yep. Oh my god.
We crossed the hall again on our way to the entrance. As we did, we once again spotted that witch's portrait. However, spotted is probably not the best word to describe that experience. It was more like our eyes were inexhaustibly drawn to it. That woman's eyes, with their sage-like glamour, definitely had the power to make those who viewed it stand rooted to the spot. Findom Woods Witch.
Oh my god.
So, this is the witch, Beatrice. Wonder if that story's true.
Ooh. Ballard doesn't believe.
Back when he asked what this picture was, the first one to tell him had been Maria. Therefore, when Bathor showed signs of doubt, Maria must have felt that Bathor didn't have faith in her. Of course, that wasn't what Bathor meant. Maria ran up to the portrait and began banging on the plate hanging below it. Maybe the title of the portrait was written there. Maria, trying to prove that she wasn't lying, obstinately continued to hit the plate.
Ah, sorry about that. It's not like I doubt anything you said, Maria.
Ooh. Ballard believes. Ooh.
I love this music, by the way.
It's nice.
When he patted Maria's head and apologized, she seemed to accept it, sticking out her chest and proudly ooh-ooing. Balthor.
What is this? My beloved witch Beatrice! Behold the sweet fish river. What's with this weird huge epitaph?
The plate did have a title with a portrait written on it. It was much too big to contain only that. Beneath the titles would appear to be a long epitaph. If you just skimmed over it, several unnerving words would jump out at you. Incredible, isn't it? Grandfather had that made. Pretty deep, huh?
I know. It's the place where the gold's hid.
Wait, is this the story about the Ushinomiya's hidden gold? Now, there's another thing I remembered from long ago. Hold on, Aniki. Is this for real?
Grandfather had this made, but he never said anything about the picture or the epitaph. Even so, amongst the family, it's often whispered that it indicates the location of Grandfather's hidden gold. That he will relinquish the inheritance and the gold to the person who solves the riddle.
Ooh. I heard that too. Lots and lots of gold.
Well, something like that. Something like 10 metric gold bars. I think it's fake, though.
Still, when you read about it in the epitaph like this, it almost seems real.
I think I already explained Grandfather's upbringing, but let me also mention the Ushinomiya family's legend of the gold. Grandfather succeeded the Ushinomiya family after it was destroyed in the Great Kanto earthquake, and by successfully riding the stormy seas after the war, he managed to accumulate great wealth. That much of the story everyone knows. However, this is where the strange part begins. Part of it involves Grandfather's black magic obsession, so his credibility is extremely low, but, well, wait until the end before you doubt or make fun of it. After the war, Grandfather correctly predicted what the future would hold, and won in a huge gamble, accumulating a vast store of wealth. But there's a mysterious legend about how he gained his initial funding. Grandfather came from a branch family and had no connections in the business world or the financial world. Even though he later built connections with the occupying forces, he supposedly started as a nameless person who hadn't yet gained anyone's trust. It takes trust to gather money. There's no way anyone would lend money to someone they didn't trust. How did Grandfather, who had no reputation at all, manage to obtain his first vast chunk of funds? When asked that question, Grandfather supposedly answered like this. On a certain day I encountered the Golden Witch Beatrice. Grandfather went on and on about his continued research into alchemy and the techniques for summoning demons in order to become a great magician. And the entity summoned as a result the demon called Saramane was the Golden Witch Beatrice. He then apparently made a contract by which he would receive fortune and honor in exchange for his soul.
God.
The witch then granted Grandfather 10 tons of gold. Grandfather used this gold as collateral to prepare a vast quantity of funds, which he then used to multiply his wealth many times over and revive the Ushinomiya family. It seems the story so old that even our parents were told it back when they were still children, so back when our parents were young. They explored this island in all sorts of ways, believing that the gold Grandfather had received from the witch might be hidden somewhere. However, since there was a danger of them getting lost in the abandoned forest, Grandmother began to spread the story that a witch lived in the forest, and approaching it was forbidden.
Remember that old story? When we were little, we also went all over the island searching for treasure after our parents told us about it. Didn't we get lost in the forest once? Then started crying until some of the servants found us. Our parents got so mad. Dang, that takes me back.
We sure were idiots, weren't we? After all, Grandfather only bought this island after using those funds to get rich, right? That means he must have had the gold before coming here. There's no way the gold's on this island. That's not necessarily so. Maybe the gold was hidden on the island from the beginning and he bought the whole island just to ensure that it'd be his and his alone. There's a whole 10 metric tons of it, right? It seems more realistic that he tried to secure the place where it was hidden rather than try to move it all. This epitaph was made 2 years ago. And since grandfather wrote it himself, yeah, it just makes sense to make the legend of gold seem more believable. The so-called witch's gold that revived the Ushimura family weighed 10 tons. Maybe that's sleeping someone ready to be turned over to whoever can solve grandfather's riddle. Maybe that's why he did it. Ha, I guess that sounds like grandfather's style or something. Oh, this is Bather.
Ah! Oh, this episode was made 2 years ago, and since grandfather wrote it himself. Yeah, it does make the legend of gold seem more believable. The so-called witch's gold that revived the Ushinomiya weighs 10 tons. Maybe that's sleeping somewhere, ready to be turned over to whoever can solve grandfather's riddle. Maybe that's why he did it. Ah, I guess that sounds like grandfather's style or something. If it's true, that's pretty incredible.
The epitaph carved on the plate was very mysterious, with something like a poem or a song written in it. The text was incredibly disturbing, filled with signs of grandfather's black magic hobby, and its contents were in truly bad taste. But it could definitely be viewed as a puzzle, which, if solved, might lead to the hidden goal. Whether that's what he intended or not, I can't even imagine that what his true motive must have been. All we know for sure is that grandfather put this shady epitaph here, so that everyone in the family could see it. We also know he hinted at the existence of gold without ever talking about where it might be hidden, at least so far. These facts were embellished by the imagination of our parents, who were convinced that grandfather was challenging us to a battle of wits. Sounds just like my dad, so greedy that he'd take something like this so seriously. He may laugh at grandfather's black magic obsession, but he'd still believe this story about the hidden gold. It just sounds so good. Well, it's certainly not a realistic story. After the time when grandfather was still nameless and had no connections, there's no way anyone would just lend him a massive quantity of gold bars for free. If such a person actually did exist, it's not unthinkable grandfather would call such a sponsor a witch.
Yeah, but it's 10 tons. 10 tons! If you can cash that in, how much would it come to? I mean, it'd have to be a ridiculous amount, right?
It certainly would be a ridiculous amount. They say the total amount of gold mined by humankind since the dawn of history is 100,000 metric tons at most. That's 1/10,000 of all the gold humankind has obtained throughout history should belong to just one person. It's just insane.
Workers unite.
On top of that, this witch supposedly had all the gold collected in one place and was able to lend it to grandfather just like that. We're not talking about any ordinary person. Well, to me, that 10-ton number seems pretty fishy. After all, no one's actually seen it except grandfather, right? Even if we assume that some generous witch exists and lent him some gold, maybe it was closer to 10 kilograms than 10 tons. Even 10 kilograms would be a pretty incredible sum, right?
Ooh. 10 kilograms of gold is how much?
Maria, who wasn't following the story and felt like she was being spoken to in riddles, finally found a place where she could ask us a question. It was a question I also wanted an answer right then. Whether it was 10 kilograms or 10 tons, it still felt like a huge amount, but I have no idea exactly how huge. George Anakin folded his arm and tried to remember the market price of gold. Well, even the value of gold is affected by market and the value of physical gold contained depending on its purity and the trustworthiness of its foundry. You also need to pay a handling fee to cash it in. However, that doesn't change the fact it's a precious metal, and some people estimate that humanity will mine all the world's gold within half a century if gold mining continues at its current rate. I'm just guessing haphazardly. I think you can expect a price of about 2 million yen per kilogram. Whoa. Just now I randomly said 10 kilograms since it sounded smaller. But even that would be worth 20 million yen, wouldn't it?
I weigh 28 kilograms.
Which means that if we had Maria Chan's weight in gold, we could estimate it's worth it over 50 million yen.
That's just unbelievable! How much would 10 tons be then? 10 kilograms is 20,000 yen, 20 million yen, which would multiply by 1,000, so... Huh? 20 billion yen? What the hell?
How much is 20 billion yen actually worth? We can only measure relative to our own pocketbooks. And well, let's say a person's wages over a lifetime are about 200 million yen. You grow up and work like crazy, sacrificing your life for your company, and you're finally freed as you approach old age. Everything, including retirement money, might add up to about 200 million yen. In other words, that's the amount of money that's made throughout a human's life. Now, you could even call it the value of life. So 100 times that is sum is an unbelievable amount of money. If you work from age 20 to age 60, that's 40 years of work, so it's equal to 4,000 years of work wages. If you worked every day starting for the Jomon period, you'd only reach the number about now.
Ooh. Is 20 billion yen a lot?
Heck yeah, it's a lot! Maria, you love shortcake, right? You could buy more shortcakes than you could possibly eat for the rest of your life.
However, while that might be possible with 20 billion in cash, I don't think it'd be very realistic to have that much in gold bars all in one place. Just as I said, gold is extremely heavy, so it isn't exactly convenient as a method for storing wealth. Sure, you can imagine someone gathering their fortune together as incredibly high-value stocks or precious gems. You often hear people who traded their wealth for precious gems so they could carry it around with them during chaotic times of the war. But you don't usually hear stories of that, of people exchanging their wealth for gold. It may be heavy, but it's the most trusted and stable form of wealth internationally, so maybe that's important? For example, bonds are just scraps of paper the whole country goes under. You can also look at it that way, but even one 10-kilogram ingot is pretty heavy to carry around. Haven't you heard? A 50-kilogram person can't carry a 50-kilogram bag over their shoulders. With that many gold bars, the amount of labor and risk for one person would be hard to calculate.
And what you're saying is, well, it'd be one thing if you had a stack of banknotes worth 20 billion yen. 20 billion yen in gold would be such a big mountain that practically it'd be kinda pointless.
That's right. Although the legend of gold does have a pretty interesting ring to it, just the parts about 10 tons of gold makes it pretty much impossible. If you think about it, logically like that, it sounds obviously fake. What kind of brings you back down to reality? Anyway, that's grandfather for you. Maybe he exaggerated the story of some kind wealthy person gave him a loan by saying he got 10 tons of gold from a witch. Even the number 10 tons feels pretty symbolic.
You mean like his gratitude for the money he borrowed is worth 10 tons of gold or something?
Hey, maybe some rich man's leisured wife generously granted it to grandfather. And maybe he started calling this person a witch. I see, Jessica's example isn't bad. Someone who generously lent a huge sum of money to grandfather when he still had no reputation might as well be called a witch.
Oh, I don't like this implication of him simping for Beatrice now. Ew.
What do you think about the gold? Do you think it exists? Do you think Beatrice exists?
The real gold is friendship. Well, I guess maybe it's magic. Maybe she's like big on gold light that you can carry it around. I don't know. I think it's fake.
Ooh.
I'll say it's fake, and I think Beatrice maybe did way more than that. I feel like there's more to this. Like, we're only seeing one side, and that, like, we see, like, glimpses of a character, and then we see others, and then we see, like, the facade break down, so I feel like it's a facade, and it's not, there's more to it behind it. That's what I'm feeling like. This is all a facade. Is what my theory is. We don't know the real story.
And since you went to trouble lending all that money, she might have enthusiastically overseen how it was spent. The decision to unexpectedly get involved with the occupied forces and profit from the Korean war demands might have been inspired by the witch herself. That might explain why he claimed to have received both wealth and honor from her.
I see. So, in other words, the witch lent grandfather the funds necessary to revive the Ishinomiya family, and he owed her big time. And then, he felt so grateful that he had that huge painting drawn and displayed. Yeah, it's not that crazy a story.
It's even possible this person was an old granny who looked like a witch. Maybe grandfather idolized her and that's why he had her drawn to look so beautiful.
Oh, God.
I bet if we ever did meet this person, she wouldn't be nearly this pretty.
Are you sure about that?
That's possible. The name Beatrice sounds pretty Western if you think about how everyone in family has Western names. Maybe even the name Beatrice is the result of grandfather trying to rearrange some Japanese person's name to make it sound Western.
I get it. That sounds to me... That means this pretty girl doesn't even exist outside... Guess that means I won't be able to rub those...
Oh my god.
I hope he doesn't actually do that to Beatrice and, like, I don't know, kills him before he can do it.
In the first place, isn't having a witch pretty bizarre by itself? Like, you can find something like that anywhere on Earth.
I laughed and made fun of the witch, trying to distinguish myself with the kid of 6 years ago, who feared the witch of the forest, when Maria tugged on my sleeve. I could tell by how hard she pulled that she's a bit upset.
Hmm. Oh, wait.
What is it, Maria?
Ooh,
Jamie, this, like, I will
Someone
I
please
will
kill this man.
I will pray for success in that
I
goal.
hope he dies. I hope we have more perspectives of Jessica. I would like Jessica's perspective on the matter. I think
Beatrice exists!
Maria stared up at me. She had her usual sour look, but I could tell she was angry by the color of her eyes.
Witches exist! Witches exist!
Witches are real and they're my friend.
Who?
Well, sure, they do exist if you turn on the TV on... something.
Exist! Witches exist! Who?
I started getting impatient, not knowing why Maria was jumping on me like this. Then Jessica tapped me on the shoulder and whispered, "Dumbass, you're smashing a kid's dreams. Maria really believes in things like witches and Beatrice exist."
let the kid believe she could become a teenage witch like Sabrina. Let her live her life.
Come to think of it, Maria-chan, in social studies school, when you were asked to write what you wanted to be when you grew up, you wrote a witch, didn't you?
Good for Maria. She's got good goals.
Maria nodded seriously.
This kid's gonna turn out great.
Tears started to run from the corners of her eyes. I see, to a girl who wants to become a witch in the future. The existence of Beatrice is proof that witches do exist in this world, and was therefore an image that she yearned after and had often admired.
Exist! Witches exist, but Balor still doesn't believe it. Ooh.
It's okay, witches do exist. I believe it. George Aniki kneeled down and hugged Maria's head. Watching this, Jessica poked my side. So that's what it is. It's like shouting that Santa Claus doesn't exist in front of a child who believes in him on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, way to be an asshole, Battler.
I'm not the kind of guy who likes to shatter kids' dreams.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make fun of your dreams, so I apologize. Beatrice does exist. Even now, she's living in the forest and comes to the mansion. Do what everyone's doing. So you shouldn't go into the forest. At night, you mustn't stare into the dark forest. You might be seen by the witch of the forest, Beatrice. After all, grandmother said so.
Huh? Really? Balor really believes?
Yep, I believe. Sorry for doubting it. Come on, let's make up.
I stuck out my hand. Marie grabbed it with her tiny hand and we made up. Marie didn't grumble any more than that, so George, Aniki, and Jessica were relieved. Oh, so this is where all of you were. I was sure you just left to go to the beach. Shannon-chan, carrying a basket, was surprised to find us all gathered in front of the portrait. Ah, Shannon. Well, this is the first time Balthazar has seen Beatrice's portrait. He was just fascinated by it. That's right, it certainly is fascinating. Beatrice-sama is truly beautiful. I'm sure that she's captivated the master. In addition to the patron theory, there's also theory she was grandfather's first love. Either way, although that's been several decades since he met her, even now she holds a special place in his heart. Which must mean that he's still captivated by her.
Yeesh. That must have made grandmother pretty jealous, huh?
I'm not really sure, but that might actually be true. Apparently, grandmother believed he was cheating on her with some blonde.
Huh? Good smell. Good smell coming from Shannon.
Maria sniffing approached the basket Shannon-chan was holding with interest. After hearing that, I noticed a fragrant scent with a touch of vanilla. I apologize. I was told by Kumasawa-san to bring them to everyone. What is it, I wonder? Oh, excellent. Cookies.
Ooh. Wanna eat cookies. Wanna eat cookies. Ooh.
Please eat as much as you'd like, but, would it be appropriate to serve cookies in a place like this in front of the portrait? Shannon-chan sent us a glance that seemed to ask what we wanted to do about it. Well, yeah, I guess eating here would be bad manners, generally speaking. Maria, why don't we go eat somewhere else? Let's put the cookies in a bento and have a picnic.
Ooh. Have a picnic. Have a picnic. If we can eat cookies, let's go.
Yeah, let's go get some fresh air. We shouldn't stuff ourselves in front of the witch.
That's right. Didn't we say we wanted to go down to the beach in the first place? Let's go, let's go.
Jessica's too good for this. Jessica's too good for. Jessica and Maria are too good for all these losers.
Mm-hmm. Shannon-chan, sorry, but could I ask you to get us a blanket to sit on some flask of tea? Right. Certainly. Shannon-chan received her instructions and gracefully bowed before retracing our steps. We headed for the beach on our own.
Damn, she can render water? I'm joking.
Everyone headed for the entrance in the group. Feeling as though the witch was staring down our backs, I turned around once more.
Ugh. Battler, you still don't believe.
Nope, I believe. It'd be so much cooler that way. The Golden Witch Bee just gave grandfather 10 tons of gold. And that gold might be sleeping around here somewhere. Besides, didn't grandfather write that strange epitaph that challenge if we can find it if we can? I'd say that kind of adventure story is way better.
20 billion yen worth of gold, huh? Even if we split that up between the four of us, that's still a ridiculous amount of money. 5 billion yen for each of us. Incredible. With that kind of money, you could probably make any sort of business prosper. In fact, we could live our whole lives fabulously without working at all.
Ooh. Ooh. I don't want 5 billion yen. I want cookies. Cookies.
Good head on her shoulder. She's like, yeah, fuck being rich. I'm down for being just
Haha, Maria would take cookies over money. Still, 5 billion yen, that's like a dream. He's like, I can start my own skateboard business. Be the next famous skateboarder like Tony Hawk.
So yeah, we've hit the 1 hour mark since that as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm good to end it here.
Yeah, we didn't actually get to see any of the epitaph or actually finish the scene with the adults, but we'll probably get that next time.
Yeah. Now we know how much of an asshole they all are.
Unless there's further depths of asshole.
Oh god, there's gonna be a bunch. Knowing Higurashi and the arcs revealing like people being more jerks. Yeah.
Aw, thank you, Jamie. That means a lot. And yeah, so I want to say, what do you think about the whole idea of the epitaph and grandfather leaving that epitaph for the painting? Even though we didn't get to see it yet. We only got the little bit of start to my
Yeah.
beloved witch, Beatrice.
I think it's very interesting that like I think that's what he said when he called his kids seagulls or like, you know, vultures, and they're not like they're not, I don't know, I think that was a test to get his approval of like the true heir is to like build yourself up and figure out or something. That's what I feel like it is. Like it's more of a test probably.
Ah.
I don't know. I haven't gotten because we just got a brief. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But I do think that scene's very fascinating. How I think it shows clear contrast between the grandchildren, the siblings, because they are so easily like they can easily share money with each other, versus the siblings are just very clearly much more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's just a result of age, or the way they were raised, or what do you think, or just?
I want to believe it's hopefully the age. I mean, they also, I mean, right? Like, they seem to like not like their parent. They seem to be like the opposite of their parents in certain ways for each sibling or for each child. So I'm hoping like this is a hint that the cycle is going to end. The kids seem to be less shitty towards each other, and they're all
Okay.
they're all only they're all also is what I noticed.
They're only what?
Except Battler, because he has his half sister, who he hasn't met probably. So like most of them are pretty much only children, and honestly, that might be an indication of the parents also not wanting to deal with having having more than one kid. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Yeah, the relationships seem kind of rough between the siblings.
But like, one kid, only one kid.
That's actually a really interesting thought.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we call it a night and give a shout out to someone?
I want Maria to kill all these fucking rich people. That's all. That's what I really want. I hope she like.
She becomes a witch under Beatrice and like just kills everyone. Just
I hope she becomes a witch too. Yeah.
Just like tears her mom in half.
Yeah. He's like, no, I get Choco Milk now.
Oh
it's
no!
My turn on the Xbox.
That was very.
It's my turn on Roblox.
That was very unpoggers of you, Mom.
Unpoggers? No, you're cringe.
God damn it.
Ooh. Cringe. Ooh. God. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm hope you're enjoying this, and this will only get better with time. You might have noticed all of our friends have the Umineko brainworms.
Yep, we're losing it, but it's okay because Beatrice is coming soon. She's gonna come soon. I'll be like, I know her. She's the lady. I see all those. I see all those memes about her. I seen the funny photo edits.
Anyway, good night, y'all. I think I'm just gonna raid someone. Let's see who's available. Okay, only person I know who's streaming currently is Red Buffalo Man. Is there anyone else that you know that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Let me see who I follow. All I see is no, I don't really see any.
Then we're gonna raid Red Muffler Man, who is currently playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels.
Oh, heard a lot of people that the meta got really big. There's a big new meta going on or something. I don't know. I haven't touched Yu-Gi-Oh! In forever.
Oh yeah, there's a big new mobile thing. You might have noticed that the Twitter post thing where I killed someone before they drew their first card.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Reina. You know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh no. Deadly person in this room.
I don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm actually playing a really bad deck, but it lets me do a funny thing where sometimes I kill them before they get to draw their first card.
Oh my god.
Anyway, have a good night.
Funny,
and like, love y'all. Sweet dreams, good night, blah blah blah. Enjoy watching some Yu-Gi-Oh!
Have a nice weekend, everyone. Bye.
Okay, we're just gonna be sending in a second. I keep forgetting the race. Take a second to go off. Alright, bye.